Oh, man. Oh, Hey, Bad Ashley. I can't wait to get started. I'm going to talk right over the introduction music. I can't wait to get involved in this podcast.
What music? I don't hear any music. Very subtle, like an audible freight train. Welcome.
That's Bad Ashley, back east. Bad Ashley. I hope everybody's fine back there. Welcome to Dead Air, number 24. Darren Carter.
Stay back there, back east people. Quit screwing up our traffic.
Darren Carter is here, and Randy Kagan is here.
Brian Holtzman is here. Let's not forget that.
And Redban, of course. Redban, the man. And
he's got a very deep voice.
So welcome.
He sounds like he swallowed Nat King Cole.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to Dead Air, Randy Kagan.
Yes, yes.
I'm told I should talk to the guests first a little bit before I start the items of interest.
Well, what's Darren Carter? Chop liver?
No, he knows the ground rules. Well, he can say whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Anybody can.
I want to say I'm very sorry that there's a virus, that people are dying, but I'm happy that there's so available parking. It was so easy. I mean, at first I thought, well, there's nobody here because they're no longer with us, and that was sad, but I was like, woohoo! Rockstar parking for everybody. Upside, downside, dead people. I try to focus on the positive things, Darren Carter.
So I guess the cat doesn't have your tongue.
No, the cat is nested up my ass. Did you guys want me to come over here and just listen?
Well,
are you at all familiar with what I do?
No, I know what you do. Okay. That's why you're here.
All right.
So we'll.
That's why I mentioned Darren Carter.
The party starter.
Exactly. People would remember he's not a man, he's a rhyme.
Shout out to Christian. Say that one for me if you want.
All right. I brought my glasses. I'm prepared. Let's read this.
I don't want to mispronounce his last name.
Christian Herndon.
Thank you for your hospitality on the Venmo. You're a gentleman in this time of need. I've got my mask in case anybody gets a cough.
Well, when you put your mask on, I don't think this is... Isn't it more proactive as opposed to...
No, you can put your mask on, but we choose
Halloween's
not to.
over, Brian. Don't be silly.
And
I have two sides to this. One is the sort of not questioning and
Did you get that mask before the coronavirus? Or
I did. I got it before, yeah. I just used to mask up.
Wait a minute. This is
I didn't like my face.
This is not morning radio, okay? Can we get that?
I brought a cowbell.
It's okay. It's okay not to say anything at any time. It's okay. It's called Dead Air. So don't worry.
It is.
So, Randy, tell us about yourself. You're
I want to say
Cleveland. Is that right?
I was born in Cleveland. I want to say today, though, I just want to tell you what's going on today, not go too far back. I had a massage, which people don't do now, but I did. I wanted the Swedish massage, but it was like $1,000, so I got the German massage. Turns out it's a kick in the balls and a piece of strudel. $30. I feel great. Right. That's as far back as I'm going earlier today.
I don't know if I want to bring this up, but Randy has a very unique case. Most mom and dads or parents, they get divorced, and they have differences of opinion, or they grow out of one another. Perhaps there's another lover in the scene, or comes on the scene, and the marriage fails. But I think you were bringing this. In your case, you were the cause of your parents' divorce. Is that true?
It's true. Right out the gate, they didn't even like the scent of my placenta.
Wow.
Yeah, they were disgusted with me in utero.
Isn't it true your parents took you to court?
Yeah. No, they saw the, what is it, the image of the fetus right away, and they litigated immediately. They went in utero and yeah, sued me. I was, what do you call it? You're emancipated by the time I was a zygote.
And, Cleveland, Ohio. And then
you showed up just in time for court.
You went out
9 months later.
She broke water right there in court. It was perfect. Darren, I remember you were there.
It wasn't there at the conception, though.
No, of course not. My mom.
Tell us all.
I grew up in Arizona. That's the truth. I grew up in AZ. Yeah. You know, my mom spread her legs in Cleveland. But that's I grew up in AZ, and that's my world. I grew up in a place with fake oceans. You know, big surf. It's like a big toilet. We float around like a turd, Brian. You pay for it, $40. You're a turd in the desert.
And you know Darren Carter, right? The party starter.
I've never met Darren in my life. Well, of course I do.
And I heard it's another 3 months, or when September. Somebody said there's another 3 months. They're going to keep things.
I haven't heard that.
I heard August.
August.
Are you here in August?
Yeah, I just read it today.
What do you mean, August, that they're going to keep
They're going to
things...
still self-quarantine. They want everybody to self-quarantine.
Yeah, well, they might want to throw some facts and stats in there. Everyone's so worried about when it is. I'm worried about why and how and what are the details, personally.
Details is you don't got to go to work. I don't know. It sounds like
Well,
a
that's
pretty good
show
thing to me.
business. Apparently, I've had a virus for years, Brian.
So tell us who you opened up for, and you've done shows, you've interviewed people.
Right now, I write for ESPN. I'm doing a radio show. I'm a ghost writer, which is kind of annoying. I haunt them with my skits. It's really annoying. They pay me to keep quiet. I've never ghost written before. I mean, I've been haunting, but I've never. You want to run around and scream but it's in an ESPN radio show, and it pays a lot like a radio show.
As long as your paychecks aren't ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. I'm haunted by zero. Like it pays a little more than this, just
That's
a little
good.
bit more
And
than this one.
you've done a lot. You've done.
I opened for Craig Ferguson, and then I did comedy. Darren, you
Wow.
enjoyed that.
Interesting.
It's a little sexual innuendo there. You don't get those gigs easily. I had to open for him in order to do comedy. Does everyone understand, or do I need to say it again?
No.
There's butt sex involved.
So
I don't want to leave any stone unturned.
no.
I think Brian Holtzman's going to walk out of this podcast.
Why does everybody... I'm just trying to be myself.
Oh, God, it's got another burrito in there.
Yeah, I
love
just
everybody.
still trying
People
to,
love the crinkling sound.
trying to get rid of this. Does anybody want this? This is from the Cinco de Mayo last
Which
Tuesday.
year? Which year?
This is it's still these things. You can have this in 2030.
That'll live longer than most Hispanic people. That's actually got more preservatives in it.
Actually, it was pretty good. I ate 2 at home. I cut them in half and I put them in a toaster oven.
They look vile.
And
You know what? We got really
take-
excited last week. We're like,
Redban?
all right, and then we
Oh, I'm good.
we grabbed the burrito, and it was
When Redban
room
says
temperature.
he's good, it's not something you want to eat.
I went out. I don't know if you saw that. I went out the next night or that morning and bought a legit burrito because you had me thinking about it.
That's an illegit burrito, apparently.
Dude, and my wife made burritos. One because it was Cinco de Mayo, but then, and swear to God, I was gonna take a photo of it, but you'd already posted yours.
What
and I
does
didn't-
an Armenian woman know about making a burrito? That must have tasted like shit.
No, you put the garbanzo beans in there, a little bit of
A little bit of shit.
Some hummus.
Exactly. Some hummus. Come on, bro.
Something that makes this noise.
Delicious.
Yeah.
So you've been
Some
in the
goat
business
cheese.
quite some time.
Which
Randy.
business are you referring to?
And you're a contributing factor in the Fraser Smith.
Fraser Smith is great, and he loves
95.5
Darren,
KLOS
and he
on,
loves-
Sunday evening.
Yeah, and he loves you guys, which it's this kind of retarded Make-A-Wish gathering, and I love it. I love when Darren's there, and God rest his soul, Brody, and God rest Don Barris' soul. He's dead to me. And it was
He's not too happy with me either.
I know, and
he
you
was
know-
supposed to come back on the show, and we got it mixed up in the booking.
Oh, he must have gone ballistic.
Red
on
Band
that.
had somebody that he wanted to appear. See the way I just kind of blame it on Red Band.
Well, I'm on your side.
So he's not too happy with me right now either.
Well, you're not supposed to be happy with Don Barris. It's not funny when you two are getting along.
so
And Fraser's smart enough to know that you two make each other funnier. Like, you agitate to a point where we just sit back and laugh.
right.
And Barris, I don't understand. I've had 100 conversations with Barris. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with Barris.
So tell us some of the people you opened up with. You worked with some big names, didn't you?
I got fired by a lot of big names, yeah. But the good news, you got to get hired, I guess.
That's
So
true.
that's good. Well, I was lucky enough. Ferguson was kind of weird because, not him as an individual, but just how it happened was one of those things you want to just smack somebody in the face because you had to be right there at the right time. There's no way you could prepare for it or a way I could say, Darren, let me show you how to get on a tit.
Yeah.
It just was one of those things where
Right.
I happened to be at the right place at the right time. Am I spitting while I'm talking?
No,
Okay,
no.
because you're masking up.
No, just in case you do.
I can be a little juicy. I do have. I haven't been late in a
juicy
while.
that way.
Yeah. Be juicy that way. That's Darren's new motto.
There's your Lysol right there, Brian, if you need it.
Thank you.
I'm sure that the virus in my existence is a mere coincidence. Oh, can I put that in my sphincter? I hear by the leader of the free world is telling me to put that in my ass, and so I'm going to.
So what's been going on?
I do. I've been writing a
Your
lot.
parents aren't divorced, are they?
No, they've been married 64 years.
Wow.
That was
That's
in a
awesome.
row. In a row, yeah. No sabbaticals or anything.
But
Yeah.
you've had some
That's so cool.
marital woes, have you?
Yeah, I've had extreme marital woes. I'm the antithesis of my parents. Not to mention the opposite. You know, I don't know who's
this is
listening.
what- my brother Bruce Law got divorced after 22 years.
The brother that I met?
No.
How many Holtzmans are there?
There's 7 altogether, including myself. I told my brother Bruce, and I think you should do the same thing, is just get on one knee and ask your ex-wife for forgiveness.
What did
apologize.
I do?
You were born.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Barely, as we know of, barely.
That's what I tell my brother Bruce. And
You say just get down on one knee and just
and
ask for forgiveness?
apologize for
Oh.
everything that you did, and please take me back.
What makes you think I didn't do that already 1,000 times in 1,000 languages?
Oh, you did, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh, you son of a gun. I'm so sorry.
Get down on both knees.
Get him an
then.
ice pack.
Maybe if I try both knees, yeah. And I had the knee pads and everything.
And after the
Oh,
pandemic.
How many years were you married?
13.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Children?
No, not with this one. This is my second divorce.
Oh, second divorce.
Yeah, it's nice. This one I was actually in love with, though.
Wow.
Yeah, so way to bring things down.
Hold on, the
Isn't it
first
better
one
for
might
me
be
to-
listening. No.
No, that's,
Oh no,
they want me to get to know
They-
the guest before I
who
start
was
the
this
items of interest.
omnipotent they? That dude, the red dude. It seems very singular. He's nice, but he's not plural.
So we do items of interest here, just some items of interest, and
Like a format,
I wouldn't. I
like a trivia question.
no, I don't like cliches.
Okay,
We just call it items of interest. You know,
And he
Gotcha.
doesn't, he doesn't like
something
when,
that
yeah.
somebody would think is interesting.
it's interesting, and it'll be an item.
Of interest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
So you're free to comment, and we encourage you to comment on any of these items of interest.
It's weird because sometimes you censor me like it's Beijing, and then other times you want me to talk.
Well, no, it's fine with you.
I feel like I'm standing in front of a tank right now, somewhere, and there's an Asian dude.
not here to
No,
make you-
no.
I'm not here to make you feel uncomfortable.
Brian Holtzman censoring me. What world am I in?
Did I tell you couldn't say anything?
You're like, yeah, shut up, be
Was
quiet,
I,
talk.
Darren, was I?
Darren can't help you.
I almost want to tell him a little bit, but maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Like, well, no, not.
No,
there's-
don't tell him
without
anything.
Yeah.
He's Randy Kagan. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
tell him.
yeah.
You can tell him anything.
Well, I was
I'm not going to tell him anything.
All I'm going to say is because I want you to know that this is very sincere. We're all friendly. This isn't like a prank or nothing. But there are people. They do react differently. Like some people.
Right.
We've
like-
had trouble with
We've
guests.
had trouble with
items
guests.
Am
of
I
interest.
trouble?
No,
No. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We haven't been on in 10 minutes.
I see.
You know,
This
you
was
can-
preemptive. I got you what you're saying.
No, I'm just explaining it because
I gotcha.
we didn't explain it, and
Yeah.
people
Been-
were
yeah.
taken aback. We didn't know if they thought we were punking them or we thought they were punking us. We
I
didn't know
understand.
what was going on.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Like
And-
he'll do some great items of interest.
Cool.
And people sometimes they don't understand. Like, why is he reading the news? And
Why-
it's not called the news, though, by the way. And then they kind of feel like, why am I? And then
I
they-
understand.
yeah. And then
but
they,
you
yeah.
explain it, and it's all
Yeah.
beautiful. I understand that, Brian.
Yeah.
So
But,
cool. What do you got?
But you're free to leave anytime you
No,
want.
I
if
don't
you
want to.
can't- If you can't take it anymore, it's
I'm loving
no
it.
one is
Well,
upset
that's
with
you're
you.
saying that
you
now,
know?
but this is just the first hour.
Yeah, it's true. I got good parking, so it's really easy to leave.
Redban
Like, it's
leaves
right there.
sometimes and goes home, has
Comes
lunch,
back, yeah.
takes his girlfriend out shopping, then comes back.
Invest in some stocks, sits in traffic.
For example, one time the guest was it was Earl Skakel, I believe. We were reading.
He was getting a
and,
little
And
edgy.
then there was a point where he's like, oh, how much longer? And then,
I mean, because you weren't focusing on him.
And then he said he had to go someplace. I said, nobody's doing anything. Where do you have to go? There's no appointments.
Maybe
There's
he
no
works
work.
on the front line. He's a nurse. Maybe he's changing bedpans.
and then Holtzman was like, he's like,
I
how
felt
much longer?
rushed.
And then Holtzman goes, I know you felt rushed. He started
Felt
like
rushed.
talking a little bit faster, like healing him. And then Holtzman was like, we're almost there. Let me just get through the obituaries. And then and Earl
I mean,
was
to be
like,
fair, it was like an hour and a half items of interest last time.
Including dead
A lot
people.
of, a lot of
Yeah.
people can't handle it.
Well,
They
when you
can't
tell
handle
them, then it makes sense. Then they understand what's going on.
But they can listen to the podcast in increments, and like
Absolutely.
I say, we only do it once a week. So anyway,
I think it's great. You got a nice format. It's cool.
so well, I don't like the word format.
Let me try more noises because the words are very specific on. I don't like format. I like more itinerary. Jeez Louise. Sorry about my language, Darren.
that's all right.
And we got a new comedy store sign, Redban. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, somewhere.
It's really cool.
Somebody's looking for the comedy store sign. I have a feeling that used to be at the comedy store.
That's great.
So this is items of interest, and we just touch on some items of interest.
Cool.
You're free to, and we encourage you to comment on any of these items.
I find them to
interest.
be interesting.
And Darren, you know that you can do so as well.
Thank you.
I hope everybody had a nice Mother's Day.
Absolutely did.
And I did a Facebook post from a year ago that
I saw
Facebook does that. They remind you to.
I like it.
So they did it. I just
You
passed it along.
produced it.
It
You
wasn't
created
my
it.
friend. No, I didn't. Facebook does it
Yeah.
for you.
Was it like something that you'd written that was real sweet that maybe you'll read on the show?
Well, the first item of interest is Angela Freedom has survived a lot during her 101 years, including cancer and now 2 pandemics.
Man, how much cock did she see?
Oh, she was born on a ship carrying immigrants from Italy to New York City in 1918 at the height of the Spanish flu. She emerged unscathed from the outbreak,
You're not reading this, are you?
and but this March tested positive for the Corona-19.
Well, that's positive. Oh,
and
wait.
spent weeks battling fevers while insulation. This is a tough bird at 101.
She's badass. I'm not messing
New York
with this
nursing home. By April 20th, she had beaten the disease by April 20th and was eager to resume her knitting. She has superhuman DNA, said daughter Joanna
one.
Merlot.
Super grandma.
So she survived the coronavirus, 101 years old. They take her out to the parking lot from the hospital, and she gets hit by an ambulance backing up.
No.
She was so old.
Unbelievable.
She went through
You know,
menopause
don't
4
you
times.
hate that when you hear about somebody so old and they get hit by a garbage truck
It's
or
a
something
shame.
or bus, you know?
That's-
How about the guys? How about the guys who were in World War II up in those bombing planes and they survived, which is almost impossible. But
Yeah.
so they wanted to go on the plane again, the vintage plane,
Oh yeah.
and it crashed. You know, just where are
Yeah,
the
don't push your luck at that point.
where are the
Just-
family members? Come
Yeah.
on, Dad. You
A-
don't have to go on the plane again. This
A
thing
voice
is
of
how many
reason,
years
yeah.
old? You already survived the war. Now you want to take a joyride on the same plane?
It's like being in Vietnam War and then going to Vietnam for vacation.
People do that, huh? They want to go back and visit like where the battlefields were.
That
Yeah.
was I felt sorry for the guy. He should have just. You can look at the plane. You can take a walk through the plane while it's on the ground, but don't get inside the plane and fly.
That's why I don't go to the Museum of Tolerance. I can't stand that place. No tolerance for it at all.
Would you guys ever think of taking a tour of different clubs you've bombed at? Like going back?
I don't have that much time, Darren.
With many California businesses still shuttered by the pandemic, the City Council of Beverly Hills has voted 4-1 to let plastic surgery resume. The lone holdout, Council member John Merish, says that while heart and cancer surgeons should resume their work, procedures such as Botox, liposuction, and breast implants aren't essential. I don't think people need face jobs, he said, especially when you're supposed to be covering your face.
So this is going to happen, or it might be allowed.
He said the city
They voted.
council has voted 4-1 to let plastic surgery resume.
So
Yes.
that means it's a
But the
go.
holdout was against it. Yeah, there was one holdout.
Oh, it's got to be 100%.
No, he was outnumbered. They didn't have enough.
So they're gonna start getting those nose jobs and stuff.
Whoa, there.
Wow, she's done. She's
Oh,
done.
hi, honey, I'm home.
Yeah, the Chinese alphabet doesn't have a letter for that.
I follow her on Instagram. It's one of the most disturbing people you'll ever see. Like,
I can
it's
imagine.
disgusting.
Just the stuff she does in life. Wow.
What kind of stuff? I want to know what kind of stuff. No.
She needs to be back in a mask.
She looks like a monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty disgusting.
People are. Oh my god.
Wow.
Like,
She didn't miss a spot.
Let me see. it.
Wow.
Holy moly. That's the entire camel.
Yeah.
That's just not the toe. That's the whole. That's all 4 feet.
I mean, look at this. This
Hooves?
is just disturbing.
Wow. What did her daddy do to her? Dear
Look
God.
at those hips. I mean, just look at the butt or whatever's
I
going
wonder what
on.
she
in
really
there.
looks like.
You know, she's actually a
Back in the day.
midget dude. A black midget dude.
That looks painful.
Yeah, I know. She did. She posted some
What does
photos
that
of
one say?
herself
It
in the
says
past.
Cock? What's that cock one?
What?
It says cock or something. She
Dick.
wrote. No. She wrote something like right there.
Cock,
Passionate and
money,
purpose.
pickles. It's her shopping list.
She got a lot of
so
canvas.
weird.
I mean, if that's art is, tattooing is art, she's got a lot of canvas.
She actually posted. Oh, that's her when she was young.
Yeah.
It's a little kid.
I'm a normal person.
Yeah. See, it's sad.
I feel bad for her parents.
I think she blocked the comments on. She didn't want people commenting on that one.
Wait, there's
Hey, there's
Dr.
Dr.
Ken.
Ken.
Wait, what's the doc
What's he doing on there?
He's just
Oh,
a
that's
meme.
hilarious. He's a good man. He's one of the good ones, right?
There's too many selfies.
he's a nice
huh?
man.
There's nobody else in her life. That's sad, dude.
And then
Oh no!
whoa.
The surgery photos.
Whoa.
I'm about to be hot, y'all.
An Ohio lawmaker is objecting to the wearing of face masks on the grounds that God doesn't wear one. Republican State Representative Neo Valente, Nino, first name, last name Vitale, argues that the U.S. was founded on the principles that we are all created in the image and likeness of God. God's likeness is most evident in faces, he said, and I want to see it. Man, that's some crazy.
God wore that robe.
Hey,
Didn't he wear a robe?
You wonder how these people get elected, but they're just out of the crazy.
But he's right.
views.
I've never seen a picture of any deity in a mask.
I mean,
But they wear comfortable
yeah,
robes.
I'm gonna cast my
That's
vote
true.
for the Jesus freak. Yeah, that's what I'm.
What do they
gonna
wear?
do.
Those snuffies? What do they call them? Snugglies?
Snuggies.
It
Remember
seems
the
like
snuggie?
religious deities and ghosts.
Oh, this was story was all over the place. This one, after a Utah highway patrol cop pulled over what he thought was an impaired motorist and found a 5-year-old boy behind the wheel. The boy was driving to California at a high rate of speed because he wanted to go and buy a Lamborghini because his parents said no. This is a kid needs boarding school.
He's got to be huge, though, as well. How do you reach the pedals? He must be an enormous kid.
He needs.
He wanted the Lamborghini.
He needs to go to boarding school. That kid needs to be shipped out
Needs
immediately.
to get waterboarded. I think that's the new timeout for these kids.
Oh my God! What a kid! What a problem!
Yeah.
If he was waterboarded and he likes Lamborghinis, maybe it'd be like, some expensive water, like
Yeah, you'd want to get
He had $3 in his pocket.
Fiji
too.
water.
Wow.
Yeah,
He was
buy a
like,
Lamborghini.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna buy a Lamborghini with. And what's crazy is that he got to ride in a Lamborghini. Somebody saw the news story and he got to ride in a Lamborghini the following day.
Crime does pay.
It's like, yeah, I know, dude.
That'll teach him.
Yeah.
wow.
Well, at least he's got good taste in cars. He wasn't out looking for a Chevette. And I give the kid credit for his taste anyways. Lambos.
A cat jumped on a sleeping Canadian couple and alerted them to the smoke pouring from the slow cooker in the kitchen. Scott White noted that his other pet, a supposed guard dog, slept soundly as the kitchen fire threatened to go out of control. The real hero is the cat, he said.
Maybe the cat thought they were cooking one of his relatives.
Are you finding these interesting? These
I
items?
do. I like them. I don't know. I didn't know any of this stuff.
FBI figures show 2,911,128 background checks for gun purchases in April, the most in any April since background checks were instituted in 1998.
Now, I'm not a doctor, but can you shoot the virus? Can you shoot it with the bullet and then kill it? Because that would make sense.
If it's a silver bullet,
Yeah, maybe some kind of
I don't know.
anointed bullet.
Don't they always talk about the silver bullet?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that silver
What
bullet
does
kills
that actually
evil.
mean?
with vampires and whatnot.
Or a steak or a ribeye. I'm not sure which kind of steak, but you put it into a devil's heart and they will. But anyone would die at that point, even
This
the
is-
nicest guy in the world.
Or Coors Light.
This is a real tough one for me to even describe. This is for you, Redban. Your buddy Elon Musk again.
Elliot, they keep giving people.
What is it? What is it?
It's Elon.
Elon. The newborn son of billionaire Tesla and SpaceX founder
Elon.
Elon.
Musk. His last name's easy.
Elon Musk
yeah.
and his girlfriend, electronic musician Grimes.
Is anyone named Susan anymore?
Baby named
Billy?
expert Laura Wartenberg doubted that California officials will accept AEI-A-12 as a legal name,
Do they call it Ash or something like that? Like
calling it
X-Ash?
widely impractical name. There it is. How do you even say it?
It's a license plate.
XAEA-12. That's what he wants to name the kid, Redban?
Yeah.
I think it's like
It's illegal though in California.
Is it pronounced X Ash?
Did he go off the rails? That ever since he went on that Joe Rogan show, he hasn't been the same. The first time.
Well, look, you got baby tattoos on it also.
Oh no.
Wow.
The baby's very cute.
A little teardrop tattoo on the baby. I killed him at the hospital. Yeah.
That's an early murderer.
That's his girlfriend, Redban?
Yeah. Is what? Yeah.
That's the
the wife or
baby's
girlfriend?
I think it's a wife, but I could be wrong.
The baby mama.
Wow, he's just wild. He's like a movie star personality in a movie. You know, the billionaire industrialist. I mean, he's really branching out.
And he's talking about leaving Cali. You know, he wants to leave Cali because they won't let him open up his Tesla factory out there. So
up in Fremont.
He's kind of being a bit of a baby. Where would he be without California buying his electric cars?
I
mean,
know.
we buy like 9 out of 10 of them.
Yeah.
So why don't you relax, Muskie? Calm the F down.
You know, you're right. It used to be the Range Rover.
Yeah.
That used to be the keep up with the Joneses vehicle. Now it's the Tesla.
Yeah, and you read the stats, he couldn't do anything without California's marketplace. You think they're driving Teslas in one of the Dakotas? F no. It's us.
And you're
I banged a few trees.
yeah.
I'm not a tree hugger. I will finish a tree. You know that.
No, you
You foreplay with the tree.
Thank you, Darren.
Hey,
Darren
he'll-
understands
He'll
me.
trim the bush.
Thank you.
You're an activist, a plant conservative.
I'm just a big mouth, but yeah, I love the planet. I think unless you're hovering, we all should. I don't think it's a issue. I think it's just everybody's. Black,
What do you
white,
think
Brian
about
Holtzman, or Darren
what
Carter.
Do you think about recycling?
I do my jokes over and over again.
He recycles his jokes.
Thank
That's
you,
funny.
Darren.
Hey, we also
Thank you for explaining that to people. I need subtitles. Sorry, Darren.
Okay,
I heard
so
inside. I like this stuff. It's all over the place. It's interesting.
after an unidentified man who appeared in the supermarket with a Ku Klux Klan
Yeah, I
thing
heard about
was
that
on,
one.
he's not going to be charged with a crime or arrested.
How is that not a crime?
It was a disturbing incident for associates
No.
and customers. There's
It's
just
a hate crime. It's a hate crime. It's a new thing. You're supposed to put the kibosh on that, right, Darren? When it comes to that kind of secular
Yeah.
attack, it's supposed to be this new world order.
Well,
if it's a
certainly,
hate crime.
it's certainly not considerate. Yeah. to say
Well,
the
yeah,
least.
that's to say that, but that's also when you don't say excuse me. It should not be in the same category as wearing an effing swastika on your face. I mean, I think that should be illegal, and he should do jail time. That's inciting. That image is absurd, and I mean, are you kidding me?
This is a very interesting story. The Irish are repaying Native American generosity 173 years ago by donating money to the Hopi and Navajo communities hit hard by Corona-19.
They are they're hit hard, and there's not a lot of press about it. But it's the First Nation, and they're getting wiped out again.
Yeah.
Again.
In 1847, the Choctaw Nation raised $170 to send to Irish peasants starving in the potato famine,
Wow.
Wow.
which we talked about on this podcast before.
How'd they even know about it, I wonder?
Yeah, back then, what?
Well, this is what's interesting about this item. When you think of Indians in America, all you think about them is running around, fighting with the cavalry and not being much. And here is a story from 1847. They raised $170,
Which is a lot
and sent it
yeah.
all the way to Ireland.
That was like $1 billion back then. You could buy a ton of potatoes.
I mean, it was just amazing to see this generosity by supposed Indians. Woo, 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 woo. That's what with the movies in Hollywood, how they're portrayed.
And
you
they're
know?
usually Italian men playing the Indians.
Right, the guy who was crying in the canoe because everybody was throwing trash was an Italian.
I think he was. He made a great pasta dish.
Do you remember Charlie Hill, comedian Charlie Hill from the
course.
Comedy
Worked
Store?
with him in
Yeah.
La Jolla.
I used to love remember his opening act? He's an Indian, and he'd go, "Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?"
I do remember that.
That was great,
He's
right?
the only one who could do it.
Look
I
up
mean,
Charlie Hill on the Tonight Show from back in the day. He was awesome.
I used to say, he's got a couple of children at home, and they're like, they're misbehaved. Those kids are bad. They're like a bunch of wild Indians. No, they really are.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of wild fucking Indians.
You had to do it then. When else could you do it, Brian? You got to do it when you were with Hill. It's
And,
a rare opportunity.
So they gave him the money back in 1847, and then so for their appreciation, it was a huge sum before forcibly relocated from the deep south to Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears. I got to read a book about that. That's when they told all the Indians, "You're going to live someplace else now," right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
They took them off all the good land and gave them these
the Dagwood sandwich of pain that they got.
Which is,
just when
God.
you got this can't get worse. It did.
Ireland never forgot that selflessness act or momentum in Cork County commemorates the tribe's generosity, and now Irish families are pouring money into a charity drive for the Navajo Nation and the Hopi Reservation. The fund has so far raised $2.7 million.
Holy moly!
Wow.
For this tribe. I guess they're going to open up another casino probably with that kind of money.
That's actually 5 poker hands at some of those tables. It takes a minute.
We are still grateful. Can you believe that? All the way to Ireland.
Well,
How the hell did they even get the money to Ireland? $147? $170 in 1847? How do you even send it?
A bottle? I think you put it in a bottle back then.
Just hope the current takes
Well,
it.
you know, statistically...
Put it on a Carnival cruise line.
There you go. Hope it doesn't get
Even
a
back
virus.
then,
Yeah, even back then. Not such a carnival anymore. It's carnival of viruses
Yeah, who's
now, I
booking
think.
any more cruises? Anybody? You know? And you like this. We're not going to miss those cruise ships.
No, they dump their garbage.
They dump the
They've been doing it
urine
for
and the
years.
feces and the garbage
not
wherever
illegal.
they go.
It's not illegal.
International waters, bam.
It's like wearing a swastika. It's not illegal. It's just wrong. Effing wrong. And they've been doing it in international waters for decades. This is not new.
It's like a
It's
floating
not new.
apartment complex
Yeah.
of 3,500 people.
Yeah, these opulent
With
shit
no
stains.
sewers.
Yeah, eating lobster. And out the back, and they do it at night. They would always dump at night. They dump the garbage at night. They're not stupid.
Have you ever
They're
done any
just
comedy
evil.
shows on a cruise ship?
No, I have the equilibrium of a Girl Scout. Not only can I not stand the cruise ships and the gluttony and then the waste, I can't. I got no sea legs at all.
Well, you can get a cabin right in the center. They say
I don't
that's
believe
the
it.
best one. That
I
keeps
get
it
sick.
kind of level.
If I'm a passenger, like over Laurel, Puke City.
This is a failed coup attempt. I didn't know about this. A Florida-based former Green Beret this week took responsibility for the bungled attempt to overthrow Venezuela President Nicolas Marundo. You know who I'm
It's a boy
talking
band.
about.
It's a boy band. I'm very familiar.
In which 8 mercenaries were killed and another 8 captured, including 2 Americans.
Don't like that.
Jordan Godot said he's planned the operation on behalf of opposition leader Juan Guaido, and he said he had nothing to do with the raid.
I believe him.
Said the captured Americans were former U.S. Special Operations soldiers acting as supervisors to the guerrilla force of about 60 men, mostly from Venezuela's security officials. So that's an item of pretty interest. So this stuff is still going on. Missionaries, you know, people really know how to handle themselves.
Those mercenaries?
They pay a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Did he say missionaries or mercenaries?
I think it's mercenaries.
Right. Missionaries put in like plumbing and then give you Christ.
Right, forcibly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right down your effing throat.
Hey, you know how like there's like missionary? There's a dumb joke for you. You know how there's like missionary position? I wonder if there's like mercenary position.
That seems like a fair question. Well, you're both armed and ready to go, I guess, at all times. I don't know.
This item of interest is out of Italy. The pandemic.
The what? I want to hear that again.
You're going to see. You can't.
I
correct
like
me.
the way you're better when you do it. It's better than when you do it.
The pandemic is proving to be a growth opportunity for the mafia. Southern Italy's economy has taken a beating during the lockdown, and many people who get paid under the table and so don't qualify for unemployment benefits have seen their income disappear. As Italian cities wait for federal funding to be dispersed, mob bosses in Naples and Palmyra have stepped in to lend money and feed the needy, handing out food parcels in poor neighborhoods. Mobsters are ready to exploit those newly poor from the coronavirus, says the mayor, Luci Orlando. Those who accept mafia assistance will be expected to pay it back later in other ways, making them accomplices to organized crime.
Well, how is that any different than what the corporations are doing in the same thing right now? Mafia just dresses better. They just look cool. Like corporations aren't doing that right now, making squillions off of this. It's just like a war. Somebody's making bank.
They're doing something right.
Hell yeah. When we got to call China for everything we need. Somebody's making money.
This one's out of Russia. This item is out of Russia. 2 Russian doctors have died, another in critical condition after plummeting from a hospital window. All 3 had complained that staff lacks sufficient protection equipment to treat COVID-19 patients. Medical workers across Russia have voiced similar complaints as hospitals have turned into coronavirus incubators.
It's a hard word.
Yeah,
man.
Petri dish works either way.
Sickening hundreds of doctors and nurses. So you got to watch out what you say in Russia. They'll throw you out the window.
3 of you, right? 3
One
people?
guy's lucky he's still alive.
Yeah, Russia
other
doesn't
2 are
mess
dead.
around.
You know, that just sends
that
a
was
message.
that was a message. Yeah, exactly. They did it like,
People
hey,
go out the window. You're not going to say a word.
Yeah, not subtle.
No, you'd say a word. Can you move me to the first floor,
One time,
please?
Mitzi told me to
I
do.
stay in the lobby.
Mitzi told me to do 3 minutes, or else she'd throw me out the window.
Yeah, well, I guess you
There's-
told the guy next door with the guy
It's
that
only
did jump.
one-story building, so
Yeah, it's a big deal.
No, but that night
You got a
she's-
Band-Aid. Yeah.
That night she's like, you're booked up to the belly room.
it didn't hurt
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, which is worse than falling out. 3 floors. You got to do the belly room at midnight. Give
my-
me the 3 floors.
And my favorite dictator, with the best haircut, is alive. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il quashed rumors of his death by appearing in public last week to open a fertilizer factory.
Supposedly.
He's full of... Wait, no. Yeah, supposedly.
Speculation over Kim's health began in mid-April when he failed to show at celebrations for the country's biggest holiday, said so-and-so.
What's their
and so.
biggest holiday?
I think it's his grandfather or his father's birthday.
Gotcha. Not Hanukkah, then. It wouldn't be Hanukkah.
Claimed the 36-year-old had undergone heart surgery. The report was repeated on international media, but South Korea intelligence maintained there was no evidence to support the rumor. South Korea intelligence chief so-and-so said Hu Han-hu said the week that Kim had appeared in public only 17 times so far this year, far less than in recent years. So he's okay. I'm glad he's okay.
But
So
did he explain his disappearance? I mean, he kind of did ghost on us for a minute.
He didn't really explain it.
I wonder if he was like self-quarantining because of the coronavirus.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he might
why.
have just been sick or something.
Yeah.
His haircut looked healthy as ever.
But they're also saying that his appearance was a double, a body double. There's a conspiracy of
That I
that.
believe. Yeah.
Adam Eget has a body double.
I mean, somebody else has that haircut. There's two.
Sometimes when you talk to Adam Eget,
I don't
it's
know.
not the real Adam Eget.
No,
It's
there's
true.
several. How do you know? Did you check behind his ear for a barcode, or I mean, how do you know?
You can tell his mannerisms are just slightly different.
I used to say that about Doug Benson. He was at every event. I said, "There's got to be 4 Doug Bensons," and I always go, "Which one are you?"
You think he's high right now?
I hope so. I hope at least he's got that excuse.
Hong Kong has passed 2 weeks, one full quarantine period with no locally transmitted cases of COVID-19, despite having never implemented a full lockdown. That's going to piss a lot of people off in this country. Schools, gyms, and some government offices did close, but restaurants, shops, and public transportation remained open. Health experts attribute the city's success in stamping out the disease to residents' willingness to be vigilant about wearing masks. It's real simple. Wear your mask when you're out in public. I do.
It is pretty easy. I don't know why
But
people
some
make it
people-
such
well,
a
they
thing.
just,
I
they
have
just-
it right here. It's not a big deal.
It's, a lot of people want to just not cooperate.
You
I
think
mean,
it's rebellion? They just want to not be told what to do?
They think it's a conspiracy, this whole thing.
Yeah, they think there's some kind of sinister plot going on. Like they're taking away your rights, or they're taking away this, they're taking away that. They're
But I'm
trying to
assuming-
control everybody.
They must not have been affected, meaning they must not know anyone who's no longer with us,
And
I'm
they're-
assuming,
and they're
because
co-
of the virus. Right? These can't be people who have known people who've died from it, I'm assuming.
I don't think it would make sense if they did and
Right,
then act
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, because, I mean, I know people affected by it, so I don't have the luxury of calling it a conspiracy because there was somebody here and now they're not.
Governments are governments. There's good ones, there's bad ones, there's regular ones, there's this one, and live with it. Live with it. It's all relative in the country that you live.
And how about we're
You know what I'm saying, right,
Sure.
Redban? You know, it could be better, it could be worse. I mean, definitely could be worse.
Oh,
I mean,
look around. It
just
could be a lot
relax.
worse.
You know, they complain about the government whenever they get a chance, but they don't mind Medicare and they don't mind Social Security, do they? You know, and they don't mind any of that stuff.
But yeah, I don't see them
You know.
building their own roads or hospitals.
The government is like a wife. In the daytime, she's a beautiful wife. She takes the kids to school. She makes lunches. She cleans the house. She has her husband's martini waiting when he gets home. She's great. And at night, She goes down the block and she blows everybody at the park late at night. The husbands don't get any sex that way.
I wanna
and
go to
that's
this
what the
park.
government is like, Redban, right? It's good and it's bad. You know, it's this.
I have not received a blowjob from my government yet. One county official in a small municipality, but that was it.
You know,
Was it a blowjob or did they screw you?
No, I never got the bonus screw you job yet. I haven't even gotten that. But don't you think what the government does blatantly is weird and odd and questionable enough? Like, what do we need conspiracies for when we do outwardly stuff that's insane? I think what we do openly
One
is
example.
crazy. I don't know, like go to the moon. Like we went to the moon. That's crazy. Why say we didn't go to the moon?
Right.
Isn't it crazy enough that we went to the moon? That's crazy. Isn't that ridiculous to spend $1 squillion to go to a lifeless chunk of shit? Like, that's insane.
Yep.
That's crazy. But we did it. If you made it up, somebody would go, come on, who would go to a lifeless chunk of crap? Spend $1 billion. That sounds like a conspiracy.
Anderson Cooper announced the birth of his baby son via surrogate last week.
Oh, gotcha.
On Monday, I became a father, the CNN announcer 52 said at the end of his show. I've never actually said that before out loud, and I still kind of astonishes me. I'm a dad. As a gay kid, I never thought it would be possible to have a child. Currently single, the TV newsman named his son after his father, Wyatt, who died when Cooper was 10. The boy's middle name is Morgan, for a relative on the side of his mother. You know who his mother is, right?
I don't.
I do.
I know they must have been very close.
Do you know who his mother is?
No, I was just thinking that would have hurt my dick hole if that baby came out.
Wait till I.
I was not thinking that.
I'll read. I'm gonna read you whose mother is, and you're gonna like say, "Wow."
I'll give you.
Mrs. Cooper. Mrs. Cooper.
No. Starts with a V.
And
Valerie Cooper. I got the eyebrow from
the
Darren.
boy's middle name is Morgan. From the Harris and fashion designer Gloria Vanderbilt.
Holy moly.
The baby born. Yes, he doesn't even need CNN.
Cha-ching.
He doesn't even need that job.
He doesn't need C, N, or N. None of those
The baby
letters.
born 7 pounds 2 ounces is sweet and soft and healthy. Well, it's a baby. It should be.
Yeah,
No,
it's covered with fur.
Yeah, it's rough as sandpaper, and it curses and
It's got horns.
chews tobacco and throws his shit around like a chimpanzee
using his
and
cock.
watches porn and Pornhub. It's a baby. What do you expect the baby to be? Yeah, it's just like any other baby.
He had a soft spot and blue eyes.
Just because you're gay doesn't mean your baby's
you think they put it in there
sweet
just
and soft and
Yeah.
healthy.
They didn't want you to think that it was a gay baby.
He's a longshoreman. He's a longshoreman.
I heard he
in
was.
San Pedro, at 7 pounds 2 ounces.
Heard he was wide as well.
Oh my God! And he scratches his nuts. Come on,
Yeah, come on, it's a
Anderson
baby.
Cooper.
Yeah,
And
but he's a single man, so he adopted he's a single father.
yeah, he must have gave
not
some
easy.
woman the permission to have the kid.
I mean, he donated his or was it another person's?
Yeah, it doesn't go into.
I
how
was just
that-
curious if it's his genetic child and she carried the baby, or I don't know. Maybe this is getting weird, and I'm looking gay.
Maybe if I was him, I would have used my own sperm. Maybe his sperm is no good. Maybe I don't know.
It doesn't spermify. I mean, specify in there
He
what.
should tell us if his sperm is good or not on the
I'm
television.
curious.
you know.
I don't know why, but I just am.
Maybe he's shooting blanks. I don't know. Who
Maybe
is?
he wasn't with me.
Grinning Cooper said, "And I am beyond happy."
Which used to be the word gay, ironically, but we can't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
Fucking Obama. Too soon?
Yeah.
It's a page turner.
A city planning commission member in California has resigned in disgrace after introducing his cat during a Zoom meeting, hurling the feline through the air, cursing and chugging from a bottle of liquor.
Wow.
At one point during the official meeting of the Vallejo board, Chris Platzer, Platzer,
Sounds like a pharmaceutical company.
held up his pet and said, "I'd like to introduce my cat," before throwing the animal off screen. There he is.
The city says it doesn't.
It's kind of funny first.
To be fair, I've had cats all my whole life, and the cat would love that. You know, they could fall from like 10 stories.
It's
true.
And,
They
and
land
be
on their
fine.
feet, right?
Yeah.
They land on all four
They
paws.
really do, and they look at you like, what's the problem? Get up like nothing
You
happened.
throw a cat up in the air, he always lands on all four paws,
Look at that.
no matter what.
He didn't flip it. He didn't spiral it. It could have been a
slam
corkscrew.
it against the wall. Yeah.
People who hate cats love this video. They put this on a reel, a loop, and they watch this over and over again.
And masturbate,
with Vaseline and their pants off, and they just love watching cats
I guess
get
if
thrown
you look
around.
at people's reaction, they can kind of tell it wasn't a mean thing, I guess.
They didn't throw it down in anger.
Ta-da.
You know why
That's
people
cute.
People hate cats?
I don't know why. I don't mind cats.
Because they can't control them.
Because they don't defecate in their own home or around their own residence. They defecate and they spray.
They kill a lot of birds,
in
too.
another people's property. That's one reason I presume people don't like cats.
Right.
Is this a bad time to go use the bathroom?
Oh, God.
I'm wearing adult diapers because
Go
I knew-
ahead.
Okay, cool.
You don't have to.
No, because
announce
You
it
got to get him a bathroom, Brian.
Well, no, you're talking about cats and using the restroom and other people's. I do have to go, but not defecate.
Go ahead.
Oh, he's
Darren.
just going to go pleasure himself. That makes
This is-
that makes more sense
Just
to me.
go ahead.
I mean, I
Darren.
could see
You don't have to ask.
not listen, you can't hold your pee. That's ridiculous. But of course, go. Yeah, that
Anyway,
makes total sense.
This guy, I'd like
Why be
to
uncomfortable?
My cat off screen. In his resignation letter, Platzer conceded that he had not acted in a manner benefiting of a planning commission
This is the cat
commissioner,
guy.
but added that he, like many others, is adjusting to a new normalcy.
How do we know it didn't land on a couch? I mean, honestly, what if it landed in a bucket of puppies? We don't. Well, that might be a conflict, but I'm not thrilled about cats in general. What they do, they kill a million birds every year. Darren bathroom 2 times. He's been 2 times already.
Yep. And it's only been, what,
We don't.
50 minutes?
Redban and I think that he doesn't have working plumbing in his residence.
Something's going on in there. I think there's some
His
plumbing.
wife is from Armenia, and perhaps
She's feeding him
she's,
stuff could clog him up.
She's against that.
He's an adopted kid. They
And
usually
he's
don't
adopted,
have
too.
real bathrooms when they're kids.
Wait, what is adoption? Oh, he was in some kind of bathroom situation we had to
he's-
share with other orphans?
Perhaps.
Okay, that makes sense. If he was like little orphan Darren or whatever, because he was redheaded, not unlike Annie.
He
Had
claims-
Annie lost her hair,
He-
that's kind of Darren.
He claims not to have a medical issue, Randy. But
I think doctors might disagree.
Redban and I are suspicious.
Yeah, I would say that there's some suspicion there. I'm not a doctor, but we'll put the data together.
A 93-year-old Pennsylvania woman has been restocked with fresh beer after pleading for additional supplies. Olive Vanzotsky, who was self-quarantined, was down to her final 12 cans when her friend posted an image of her holding a dry eraser board with the message, "I need more beer."
Subtle. You know, it's
After the image went viral, the Molson Coors Beverage Company delivered 150 cans of Coors Light. "I have a beer every night," said the delighted woman.
So we're bought.
the next night she changed the word beer to cock. She's going to see how long this can go on for.
"Beer has vitamins in it. It's good for you as long as you don't overdo it."
As long as you don't drink it, it's actually
Vitamins.
good for you. What vitamins?
What's in them?
Is aluminum a vitamin? I'm really not sure. I think cancer's a vitamin now. Vitamin C, I think they call it. She's kind of adorable, though. I think old people, anything they do, it's just like when the Nazis get older. You look at them, you're like, he's a grandpa. It's just old people. You feel they're cute, even if they were Nazis. Not that I'm not saying she was a Nazi, but I'm not saying she wasn't either. Coors Light drinking Nazi.
We don't have to worry about any dead air on this episode.
Well,
huh?
Darren went to the bathroom. I'm trying to pick
No,
it
but
up.
it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to pick anything up. It's okay.
Come back.
No, it was funny. Are you back now? Is everything
Yes.
okay?
Did you wash your
He's
hands?
trying to hold the whole show together while
done.
you're in the bathroom. I
Sorry,
told him
man.
it's okay. It's all right if there's
I was
nobody
working too
saying
hard.
I did a double wash. You know when you wash your hands before, then you wash your hands after?
By the way, Coors Light has 0 vitamins in it.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't just spread fake
Another
news.
another stupid senior citizen.
Yeah.
There's no.
I get my
Fake
vitamins from
news.
I used
beer.
to have a neighbor that was kind of crazy,
So did your neighbor.
I always thought when men and women get older, they get wiser. It's just
I
not
know.
so. They're as stupid as the day is long, whether they're in college or 12th grade, and if they're retired and on a pension. They're just stupid.
What do they say? There's no fool like an old
And
fool.
I don't mean that derogatorily, but some are bright,
Yeah.
Some are bright, and some are just like...
Einstein was old. He was kind of smart.
Oh, Einstein.
But he was probably smart when he was,
True.
But I know what you're saying. There's that thing of like a wise old man, but maybe they're just...
No,
Just
some of
'cause
them
you're-
are dumb as a box of hammers in a box of hammer store.
I don't think a long gray beard makes you smarter.
Do you remember when you figured that out? Was there like a certain age where you were like, just because they're
When
older?
you talk to enough dumb old people,
Yeah.
idiots.
Yeah.
I found it more as I got older.
Yes.
Because I generally assumed elderly people had something.
Yeah, you figure they'd been around.
Yeah.
They got to know about people. They got to know about personalities. They got to know what's important and what's not important. Oh, no. No, they're animals till
They were just
till
rigid.
their last breath.
Yeah.
You call them up. Oh, it's my lunchtime.
Very specific.
You're 89 years old. You're going to eat again. You want to stop human contact because it's your lunchtime? They get nutty about lunchtime
very
and when they're going to
regimented,
eat.
yeah.
When they're going to eat. Oh.
Well, maybe because they're getting their vitamins from beer. And they're like,
No,
"This is my
Redban looked it up.
lunchtime."
There are no vitamins in beer.
That's what I'm saying. They think there are, though.
Well, oh, you were here for that?
Yeah, of
No,
course.
you
He
got
was
back.
in the bathroom.
I was right there.
You were in the bathroom when the Redban did that.
You could actually do this from the bathroom, I think.
Oh, you heard Redban talking about
Yeah.
that
And
while
then
you were in the
And
bathroom?
then he showed it right there.
Do you have a speaker in the bathroom?
No, just cameras.
Right.
Hey now.
Hey, Darren, how many hours a night do you sleep?
I don't know, like 7 or 8, maybe.
So 8 hours.
Yeah.
And how many hours in the day? Means you're up for about math.
Doing how many times he pees?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you average about 2 times an hour. You're
No.
up for about.
No.
Well, I mean, you've gone twice in 1 hour since you've been here.
Yeah, because I did drink a lot of water and coffee, which I always do. But then I told myself, you know what? I'm going to chill at around 2:20 and not do that anymore. But then I'm drinking water on the way here, and then I'm like, well, let me just pee before we start, and then. Yeah, you're right.
You drink coffee, Redban?
I drink a venti every day, and I still haven't gone to the bathroom.
Dude,
you know,
well, I think I've always been like this.
Is that
I must
coffee?
have a-
Coffee?
yeah, coffee.
A venti is a large.
And I've had 2 waters, and I still haven't gone to the bathroom yet today.
Wow.
You drink-
So you probably, on average,
I'll lose
32 times a day you go to the bathroom.
Wow.
You could put out fires. You're really
need an
wasting your
you need beta
Zytex, Flomax.
pack of what's that thing they sell?
I think that's exactly it.
Beta pack of
thing that makes you-
prostate. The beta
Yeah.
pack of prostate.
When's the last time you used the bathroom?
Well, it's none of your business. This is not about me. I'm not the one getting up and down every 5 minutes.
You might have a big hole. Maybe you don't have any.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe you have.
A big hole in. But I like what? Like a pothole of some.
You may have 2
Just collapsed.
assholes.
A big hole.
I like drinking water.
That's a medical assessment right there. The man's hole's too big.
Are you having fun on this podcast, Randy?
Brian, I'm with people I love.
But you don't even know Redban.
No,
but
I'm
you love him
2 out of
too?
3's
Yo, this
better
guy
than I
loves
usually do. 2 out of 3's way
getting
better.
lonely during this
I
lockdown.
don't do
Hollywood exaggerates. Oh, I wanted to ask you this, Redban.
Hollywood exaggerates.
I went over to John
That's a
John DeSesta's
John DeResta.
John Duress's shop. I'm getting a thing made for
a nice man.
for my bonsai pot, a piece of wood. Anyway, so I came all the way from North Hollywood, and I drove along that bike path.
oh yeah.
What's that called?
Chandler.
Orange lines
Yeah.
next to the orange line.
Oh man, it goes all the way here to the studio and all the way west to
Yeah, it goes far.
to
It's great.
Well, it goes to the North Hollywood orange line. It goes all the way up to Chatsworth.
and I like it
basically.
because there's no cross traffic.
Right, you
get
have
on
your
it.
own little path.
I mean, there shouldn't be any overweight people in North Hollywood or Burbank
You'd
with
be
that
shot-
thing.
Yeah, they don't use it that much. Not that many people use
Just
it.
get on that, and after you eat dinner, it's a safe neighborhood.
Car won't hit you.
I mean, the only suspicious people was John DeSesta.
You mean DeResta?
DeResta, yeah.
Okay.
You know,
The
John, he
comic,
knows you.
yeah,
he knows
John's
you.
a sweetheart,
He wanted to know
yeah.
who's going to be on the show today.
Yeah,
and I
John's
said,
great.
Randy Kagan.
Nobody's got a bad word about
Did he
John.
crack any jokes? He loves cracking jokes.
He's
and,
great.
what a nice, it's well kept, all the
sweetheart.
trees lined,
Yeah.
and it just goes and goes
And that,
and
is that
goes.
different from where you live? Is that you don't have any biking paths?
No, this is all different opportunities for exercise. I'm
Look at
just
that.
pointing this one out. It's
Yeah.
really nice. Are you close by to the
Very
studio?
close to it. Yeah, that's my turf.
There it is. And
Yeah,
it just
we're in my
goes
turf.
on and on and on.
Well, you are on it.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Oh yeah.
See, now
He's
I'll tell you,
awesome.
me as a ginger, as a bald ginger, I don't like that there's no trees.
With an
so-
English accent.
Yeah, exactly. You have to say it like that.
I don't know why, but okay.
Well, these trees are just they're
Yeah,
young
but
trees.
I like shade though. You know, it's hard to do
Well,
it with.
they have to grow.
Yeah.
You
Darren.
got to be patient, but
Yeah.
does it bother you guys when you see the cyclists? I mean, we used to be bike riders, and you just
Yeah.
got, but now they got their asses in your face and the spandex butt cheeks.
I like those kind of ladies.
Ladies, I never even looked at the ladies.
Wouldn't it be nice to
Creeper.
just live close by to this thing and
Yeah.
you can just get on it?
That's true.
It's nice to be able to bike to work, you know, because cyclists aren't doing any good for anybody because they're not replacing their daily activities with a bike. They're just biking around going, you say, where you going, cyclists? They go nowhere. But if you're biking around to do, you're running your errands, you're helping traffic, you're helping your neighbors. But if you're cycling along like a douche with the Triceratops gay helmet or whatever, you're not doing anything. You're just messing up traffic, putting your butt in my face. But here,
It's true.
you can just be a bike rider. You just get on your bike. You don't have to get on a wardrobe. You don't
Yeah.
have to wear an outfit.
I was
I
impressed.
kind of want to bring rollerblading back. Would you rollerblade up and down there with me
Hell yeah,
sometime?
I did that before.
Did you really?
How'd you
I-
do?
I-
How'd you do?
Good. I used to rollerblade all the time. I need to find my rollerblades. I think I have them in storage, but I used to enjoy that. That was a lot of fun around here because it's there's
Yeah.
so many quiet neighborhoods, no traffic.
Especially now. Now's a great time to do it with everyone
I would
inside.
totally do that again. With the guards though, because when you fall, I want to. Have
And you
guards.
will.
Yeah, the hand guards.
The only
yeah.
downside to this coronavirus, one of the downsides, I know there's a lot of downsides, there's a lot of kids out now. They're not in the school.
Yeah.
So
yeah, when the sun starts to set, they come out like little vampires,
you
little
see
monkeys
'em-
screaming and yelling
You see them
and
with their parents, and parents are
prepubescence,
yelling at them to do stuff, and
crying. A lot of babies crying. I hear out my window.
yeah,
I live on-
children. Yeah.
This looks like a little bit older because on Darren's behalf,
Oh,
the
those are trees
the
now.
trees are much bigger.
Yeah,
I mean that's
Darren.
my turf.
Oh, they are.
You
Oh,
never,
cool.
you never
Yeah,
seen
this
this.
is definitely
you never
an old
been
video.
over there.
Yeah.
I think I gave it a shot
I
before.
thought you lived in Burbank.
I do, but
you don't know anything about
Burbank's
this.
kind of the tail
when I
end.
think about going
He's always
there,
in the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm always in the bathroom.
He was peeing. There's no bathrooms on the bike path. Good
Listen,
point.
once I found like you know, Balboa Park, Griffith Park, like those. There's a lot of trees,
Balboa's
and,
great, yeah.
and I end up usually just jogging and walking underneath the trees because I like.
Balboa is great. If you Balboa is
Yeah.
all you need.
Yeah.
And it's a spring migration for anyone who's interested. So there's a lot of birds going on there that you don't normally see.
Oh,
Try not
that's
to fall
cool.
asleep. But yeah, a lot of birds of prey. You will see the osprey, which is actually the seahawk. There's no seahawk. It's an osprey.
Wow.
But it strictly eats fish. And there's fish in that river. Believe it or not, LA River does have fish. And there are osprey who do show their faces. They're really beautiful birds. And they're threatened species. So you're lucky to see them spring or fall migration.
That's because they're weak.
Yeah, they're just the pussies of the.
So
they
that-
can fly. Can you fly? Let's see you shit on a car. Wait,
So that-
I've seen you do that. Never mind.
That first video is from 10 years ago. This is from 2 months ago. You
Oh.
can see the trees
Oh,
are
wow.
already-
Yeah, it's much.
Oh yeah. See, I would do that now.
Is he like magic? He's like magic over there. It's like
He's
I think
the
he's
man. He's
in
the
one
man.
of the Harry Potter houses.
Oh, see, that's beautiful.
Slytherin for
See
sure.
how much shade there is right there?
Yeah, you
I love
you
that.
can nap there. That's your little Darren spot right
That
there.
would be my.
You get a hammock, you're good. Hello, it's
cool.
me, Darren. Hello, can I get a nickel?
Yeah.
I don't know why you have an English accent, but I
Only,
like it.
only
like
when
it.
I say ginger, I'm about ginger.
This is a
Part of the
very-
virus, I
This
think
is
it's
a very interesting item of interest. This is unbelievable. A Kentucky man named Tupac Shakur now knows why his unemployment check hasn't arrived. The out-of-work cook, who has the same name as the deceased rapper, filed for benefits in March and was perplexed when his claim wasn't processed. He found out why when Governor Andy Beshear complained that checks were held up because a few bad apples had filed under fictional names, fake names that weren't true. And citing Tupac Shakur as one, "I'm really embarrassed and I'm shocked," Shakur said.
And then he was shot.
Bashir called me personally to apologize. Okay, maybe that wasn't such an interesting item.
Wait, no, but the governor called? Wait, who called him?
The governor.
I think that's kind of a big deal, having the governor call you.
Of
That's
Kentucky, yeah.
I mean, well, okay, that's the bad news. It's like I met the president. It was Trump. Well, okay, not the good one.
See, that was a good aid. See, those were good people. That governor has good people working for him who picked up on this
Yeah.
and had him go and make a call. So those people are valuable.
As opposed to these guys cutting checks for somebody called
As
Disney.
as opposed to the guy in New Jersey who closed the bridge because he was upset politically. What was his name?
Douchebag.
The big fat guy.
That narrows it down. We're the most obese country in the world.
Exactly.
Let's hire aides that get you in trouble. Yeah, that's what everybody wants. People that are supposed to help you get you in trouble.
Yeah, they're supposed to have your back.
Governor of New Jersey. Somebody knows who I'm talking about. I forget his name. He was not so helpful. He closed the whole. He told everybody to stay home. I forget what it was going on or something. I don't know.
And Fatty went on the bridge.
He went in the. They had pictures of him from a helicopter on the beach with his family.
There's real rebellion, and then there's sun tanning.
He's not the governor anymore. Christie.
Chris Christie.
Oh,
Chris Christie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, he's not fat. If he lost some weight, he'd be fat. I'm sorry. This guy's a barnacle-clad fucking fatty.
He was not too
multi-chinned.
good. Here are some short items of interest. At least 89 coronaviruses are under deployment. Under deployment around the world. At least 89 coronaviruses. Vaccines are under development around the world. At least 89 coronaviruses vaccines are under development around the world. All right. With 7 now in early human trials, someday we'll have a vaccine. I'm just going to let that one go.
Under hopeful.
No,
I did hear something. Can I throw in a fact?
What's your opinion of this Bill Gates character? Isn't he supposed to be fooling around with Windows? Why is he so involved with these vaccinations? I got friends who want to know.
There's a lot of money in it.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. We have a winner.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in disease.
Shitload of money.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not conspiratorial. It's just economic. Count the beans, baby.
Him and his wife stick to buying mosquito nets and stay out of the damn
Holtzman.
laboratory.
I just had Sam Tripoli on my podcast.
How did that go?
It was great. He told all these crazy conspiracies, but it was a little. I thought it was really interesting stuff that you don't even think of, and then you're like,
how is his twins?
Good.
Did he mention his
Yeah,
twins?
he did. Ghost and Ninja. Those are their.
No, but what are their names?
That's their. I guess he named them. That's their middle names.
Oh, that's cute. I think
Yeah.
middle name. What the heck? Go crazy.
Yeah, go crazy.
Who cares? Yeah. I mean,
Do you have a crazy middle name?
it's S. It's just a letter. And my whole life, people go, "What does it stand for?" And I say, "It's just S." And this, I probably spent 3 years of my life explaining that my parents just did this to confuse people. It's just S. It doesn't stand for anything. I don't
Never
know
heard that
why.
before.
I know it's absurd.
You
My
should make
family's
something
absurd.
out.
Sounds
Make
very
something
regal.
up.
Randy
Like Sam.
Yeah, my upbringing in Arizona without a shirt and white trash, is the opposite of regal.
The most quickly developed venereal vaccine to date was the one for the mumps.
You mean how quick they got that together?
Licensed in 1967 after 4 years research. See, polio was developed by the Salk, Dr. Salk, and he just gave it away. He didn't charge
Imagine
anybody.
that.
He didn't patent it. He just gave it away.
I didn't
just
know
gave
that.
it away.
Kindness.
But now it's all about patents, and they all want to get that
Sucks, man.
patents. And that guy Fauci, that little doctor, he's in on it too.
Elon Musk likes to patent everything. He wants to patent the wind. It does anything. That's what rich people do. They have money to. Imagine if you went to
Well,
patent
wait a minute.
something, it'd take all day.
We're
I changed it. Went to
We're
Musk.
friends with Elion.
You'd think you'd get the name correct if you were friends. I mean, maybe it's developing your friendship. That's all.
No, I'm not. But he's going to be sponsoring this podcast.
I love Elon. I always
Tesla.
have.
Elon Musk.
You know I have.
Yeah.
I always liked Elon Musk.
So
He's a nice boy.
we don't want to ruffle any
He's
feathers.
a nice
here.
man.
So,
Jonas Salk. That's right.
yeah,
Jonas Salk.
That's what
I heard he was just mopey. Oh,
that was
that's
the name of
Salk.
my elementary school. Jonas E. See,
You have a good memory.
Jonas E. Salk Elementary School.
I don't remember what I had for
7,
breakfast.
8, 9. And high school was 10, 11, and 12. Is that what it is in back in Ohio?
9, 10, 11, 12 was high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 and 8 was middle school.
Yep.
Same thing with me. Although my son, he's in middle school and it's 6, 7, and 8.
Weird.
6th grade.
I think that makes more sense, honestly, because I think even as a 6th grader, you're a little old to be in
Yeah.
with like the little.
Did
kids.
you have an
Yeah,
8th grade
yeah.
graduation?
No.
See, I did. I think that's kind of weird.
That is weird.
It's not much of an accomplishment.
Did you say, did you have an 8th grade
I did.
masturbation?
I did both, yeah.
8th grade math.
And I was a late bloomer. My balls dropped on the way over here, so I'm learning. I got to go to the bathroom, too, with Darren.
70% of the 2,000. This is the one that I couldn't understand. I read this over and over. Maybe you guys can help me with this. It says 70%. Anything with a percent in is.
And it loses me.
It loses me right away.
What's with the numbers? I like words.
70%. I know there's an easier way to say this.
There's got to be.
But this is the way they're saying it. 70% of the 2,500 coronavirus tests given to inmates by the Federal Bureau of Prisons have come back positive, indicating there are many more infections among the 150,000 inmates. 31 inmates have died so far. It's like one of those trick questions, when they want to know how the train, how fast the train is going, if it's going 80 miles an hour and there's a...
And you stop to get ice cream and you get back on, how old's your grandma?
So what are they saying? There's only 150,000 federal inmates in the whole country?
Well, I think the interesting thing is they are also letting people out of prison right now because of the situation. So not only we're getting extra criminality, but we're also getting extra viral infested criminality.
Yeah,
so we can enjoy that too.
And then they're trying to do it purposely to each other to get out of jail,
Yeah,
which is weird.
You see this?
That's crazy. I don't like that.
There's videos of them all passing around a cup that supposedly has coronavirus in it, and they all start licking it.
Well, it'll give you an idea how bad prison is, kids. Okay? It's bad. You'd rather get a virus.
To think people would do this to themselves deliberately and in an attempt to somehow force our hand to release more people from custody, which is not going to happen.
Yeah, there's a circle there. Somebody, they're passing like a cup.
That's a hard job, being the head of the sheriff's department in Los Angeles. He's got to be responsible for all the employees in the jail and the street. I mean, it's just a tough job.
It's not that dissimilar from the hospital
So
workers,
here's
really.
they're raising their temperatures within a week, 21 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Every inmate has access to their own cup of water, which they jealously guard. So in this environment, and then considering the fact that the 21 tested positive out of that module, that it shows what their intention was.
I want to learn how to do that sign language. That looks like fun.
It's good money. It's good money.
You ever do a show, like a comedy show, where they have the sign language person on the side?
I did. With Ferguson, we did an entire deaf show, and nobody told us.
Did it make you feel
8,000
uncomfortable?
people. No, it was a whole... Yeah, it was really awkward. But we turned our lemons into lemonade. You had to.
and
just
those-
by going dirty, naughty, seeing what she could do.
Yeah.
She was a hot black chick
Yeah.
with huge big titties, and I just went for it.
Yeah, I looked up things when I was in the green room because I saw it, the person before me had to deal with it, and I was looking up things that were like
Smart.
like gestures that looked like sexual and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I would just say them and just be like, "Look what she's doing, guys!"
Yeah. That's kind of brilliant. I mean, that's good prop work right there.
Do you remember any of the terms that you said?
No, but I remember there was one, and it was something like rowing a boat or something like that, and it just looked like she was giving a blowjob.
Well, that's awesome. That's
Row.
money.
Wow.
That's money.
Like
See,
on the airplane,
that's
when they say you
blessing.
can blow into the thing and the flotation device. I love that when they put that little thing next to their mouth.
You
I
get a little
always-
tingle.
Well, I kind of like. I raise my eyebrows, try to get her attention.
Hey, what do you ever seen like?
Trying to get to first base.
How about when you go to Starbucks and the way that they gently clean the espresso machine? They like stroke it up and down. It's
Oh
kinda-
my God,
that's
this
kind
is
of
a
a weird-
Freudian field
Wow.
day.
But I mean, I'm not trying to think like that.
Now
but
that would be something somebody who was adopted would say. I
well,
think.
no, I am adopted.
That's
I do
a little gingery. I think that's
Did you
based
know
on
he
your
was
hair
adopted?
follicles.
Did you know he's?
I had a feeling. It was so obvious.
The way she was stroking the espresso machine.
I did not know that.
Did you know
about
we
them.
had a Jehovah Witness on this show?
I didn't know.
No, I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know Darren was adopted, and I did not know about the Jehovah's Witness either. I've witnessed neither
He
one.
tried to deny it, but I think he.
What he guess he
Oh
didn't
yeah,
witness
yeah.
it.
What's his name? Yeah.
Deny what? Oh, a comic?
He said he said he couldn't remember whether he was still signed up or not.
Well, that's like me with the Democratic Party. I don't know.
So that's global greenhouse gases emissions are expected to fall by 8% this year, the largest decrease on record. But the UN says the emissions will need to fall by that amount each year for the next decade to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius and avoid the worst effects of climate change.
Yeah, the virus would have to last 10 years
Climate change. It's like
for us to actually affect climate change.
It's like E.T. lurking in the closet.
It is.
It's always there. It's always on our mind.
I like the deniers. Like you could look at a temperature gauge and deny it, or a scale when you're standing on it. It's odd.
I like to tell them this. If you don't believe in it, just go in the garage and start your car and then close all the windows
Just
and doors.
get out
and
of the way.
See how you feel in 6 or 7 hours.
I think we should keep
Now,
going.
if you have a Tesla, you'll feel fine.
Though, you know,
Proud sponsor.
the factories
Future.
are giving out more emissions than our cars, FYI, and that's where those batteries do get that energy is from coal-burning factories, ironically.
Well, what are we going to do? We all want...
Do you want to save money on gas? That's enough. I mean,
I like
save money on
hot
gas.
showers. I like...
I'm just saying, people think that everyone who's driving a Tesla is an environmentalist. They just don't want to pay for gas, and there's nothing wrong with that. They just don't want to pay for gas.
well, it's a pretty...
It's cool.
I definitely did not buy my Tesla to be an environmentalist.
Yeah, it's not-
I bought it because it was super fucking fast.
Yeah, and they're super... Wait, you have the super fast one?
I mean, Model X.
I don't know all of them, but I know some.
They're all really fast.
They're
There's
all-
not a slow one.
There's no... You know, a combustible engine loses torque to the ground. Not electric. It's just you get everything that engine has. There's
My
no
niece-
loss of torque at all.
My niece Kathy from Alexandria, Virginia, she's a baby doctor, got one, and she's driving it, and she's... In the beginning, she's kind of nervous, but she can
Yeah.
take her hands off and drink some coffee. And
Have you been in one yet, Brian?
No, I haven't.
After the show, I want to take you for a quick spin around the block.
It's worth it. It really is like driving a computer. It really is super cool. The Tesla stores in
It's
malls.
really,
have
it's
you
like
been to?
Blade Runner, huh?
It's just it feels like an instant roller coaster.
Well,
Yeah, there's no hesitation.
Yeah, if you want that, because they have that, right? My friend did that. Is it called insane mode or bizarre
Yeah,
mode? Or?
you don't even have to put it in just regular mode. Just
Oh,
not
wow.
even putting it in that crazy mode. It's still.
Can you screech the tires?
You can in like drift mode or something
It's
like that.
all-wheel drive, so it's hard, right?
Yeah.
It's all-wheel drive.
Because he,
yeah.
There's a way to do
my
it.
buddy gunned it only for like 10 seconds or whatever, but I did not like it. I was just like, because you're back, you go back against the seat,
Yeah.
and it's
I'm so used to it that I
Yeah.
can't even feel it anymore.
Wow.
But I'll have somebody in my car and then I'll just do it and not even think about it.
Yeah,
And they'll be
yeah.
like, "Whoa, what the fuck, dude?" And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
'cause
How
I'm
long
so
have you
used
had
to
it?
A year.
How long until you got used to it?
About 6 months, I think, of fucking around.
But maybe if you're in control, then it's. But it's
I didn't know. But when I first
Yeah.
did it, I
Oh,
was
wow.
like, "Oh, I can't! I gotta stop!" Like I had to like
shit.
get my foot off.
yeah.
I like that feature where you can keep the animals nice and cool while you're in
yeah.
the restaurant.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Climate
What?
control.
So if you have like a dog in your car, you know most people like will smash your windows if they see it. But there's a huge screen in the Tesla. So what it does, it has this big dog animation that says, "Don't worry, air conditioning's on at 73 degrees.
Wow.
Dog is fine."
How do you not like your buddy Elon? I mean, that's
No, I think he's funny.
that's pretty impressive.
You
That's
know,
super cool.
Him and the guy that runs Twitter, they're free thinkers, and they don't do what the corporate world wants them to do or how to act. So they kind of give him a hard time.
They sure do.
The guy from Twitter is pretty.
What's that dude's name?
Jack something.
Jack.
Right?
Yeah, he likes to do yoga, and he likes to travel, and he likes to be spiritual, mindful of other people. And corporate world,
Kindness.
They don't like
That's-
that.
What happened to kindness?
Oh, there's the dogs. Oh, isn't that cool? Look at that. Yeah, you run up to them and you touch the glass, and it's all nice
Chilly,
and cool.
yeah.
Even in the sun.
You're envious. I could be a pet. I could be your pet if you need one. I'll sit in your Tesla.
Jeez.
I went into the Tesla store in the mall. You know, you can order on screen your vehicle to be ordered, sent to your home. It's a touch screen. The paneling, the tiring, I mean, whatever the chassis you want. Did I say
Wow.
tiring? The tires. And you just...
That's why he wants that factory
I
open.
wonder if they'll
He's
ever
got
get the
back
prices
orders.
down to like a Honda price or something.
I thought they were going lower. I
that'd be
thought
pretty
that there was
cool.
a Tesla for the people. I thought I heard about it, but I don't know.
Well, all cars are pretty expensive.
They really are. It's still a luxury, and I'm thankful to have one because, yeah, they're expensive. I mean, we all know people with 30 of them. But
About 1.2 million U.S. citizens have been denied $1,200 stimulus checks because they file income taxes jointly with immigrant spouses who lack Social Security numbers.
that's absurd.
It's a deliberately cruel carve-out, said Manhan Weavehin of the American Civil Liberties Union. Wow.
I thought I heard something that Newsom said where he was going to negate that it wouldn't have anything to do with your legality being here. If you were here, you were going to be taken care of. I could have sworn, I'm not overly political, but I thought in one of Newsom's little kibitzes daily that he did say that. So that doesn't sound right.
This is a real good one. This is about wealthy people. The rich are still spending on household staff during the pandemic, said so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and often ignoring the risks. One live-in nanny for an ultra-high net worth family moved to an outrageously large Hamptons house. I guess that's on Long Island in the Hamptons, along with their outrageously large staff.
I've got one of those.
There's a sports coach for the kids, a chef who goes to the grocery store every day, people who come in to do blow dries a few days a week for their hair, manicurist, and a personal trainer. Households that are otherwise worried about contracting think their staff doesn't count. I thought I shut that off. I'm sorry, Redban.
I thought that sounded like a cool sound effect that was timed perfectly.
That's cool, like a throwback old school telephone
I
ring.
love it.
Sorry
Brought me
about
back to my grandparents' house on the rotary phone.
It's very unprofessional to leave your
And the
phones
sexual
on
abuse.
during the podcast. The households that otherwise worried about the infection think their staff doesn't count. A caregiver with an ordinarily germ-phobic boss says he tells friends it's just the nanny when they hear her coughing in the background of a phone call. Wealth often doesn't translate to generosity. One family invited their nanny to bring her grandson to the country, then tried to dock her pay $300 a week for his room and board.
Is this shocking anyone?
This sounds like the comedy club owner when you eat the hamburgers and the
Yep,
French fries,
that had to happen.
and then when you leave, they say, well, you had this amount of drinks and you had this amount of food, and now that's about $380.
That must be a special case, though. Come on,
Special case.
Don't you think?
Nothing is a special case. There are
Yeah.
groups of people that act a certain way, and there are a lot of them, right, Redban?
There are a lot of them. They're entitled assholes. I don't know how that's news. I'm shocked when rich people are kind.
Well,
Shocked.
it's not news. It's an item of interest.
I didn't mean that. You're right. It is absolutely interesting.
It's an item.
And you are also an item of interest. But yes,
But,
it is interesting for sure.
But my friend, our friend Brian Scalaro, he was paid $2,700 for a week. The comedy club I won't mention, and after he got his checkout bill for food and beverage and mixed drinks, he got, I think, $89.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I've never, in all my years, I've heard of order on the left, the
And
top
then they
right.
charged him for parking at the club.
I never heard
So
of
he
it.
walked away for $2,700. He got
That's bullshit.
13. I am lying.
I concur.
But it was something like 1,300.
Are you saying it's bullshit that I'm saying, or both? No, but he told a story about that. They will dock you.
I don't know why, if you know the name of the club, you don't say it.
Yeah,
What's
that's
the
what
point
I
of having
say.
a podcast
Yeah.
if you don't out these fucks?
Yeah, you got to
Right.
out these.
Okay,
You're Brian Holtzman for
I did play
Christ's
Tennessee
sake.
Club, and the guy kept saying, "You gotta try the barbecue." Oh, we've got the smoker in the back. You gotta try the barbecue, and I'd be like, in my mind, I'm like, well, I already ate, but I'm not. Like, I don't want to be rude to the guy, and so. Yeah, at the end of the week, and it wasn't a crazy amount of money, but still, here's what you're getting paid. Oh, this is minus the 3 dinners, and I'm like,
See, this
That he
is-
offered
That's
you.
bullshit.
and I didn't really want to try it, but I was just, you gotta try our brisket today. It's so good.
Oh, I have something I got to bring
Yeah.
up from the.
And that club closed. So.
What do they call that place where you jog and you walk? That
The bike path or the boardwalk?
The one in
Chandler?
Chandler. Yeah. At one point when I got on Chandler, I wasn't sure if it was a one way or not.
Yeah, it's
It's a little
weird.
confusing.
I know,
So if you're
Yeah.
not not sure if it's one way or not, if you look at the signs on the side of the road, if you can read them, then it's a two-way street.
Yeah, and
I've
if all
seen-
you're seeing is the back of signs, means you're going the wrong way on a one-way
I've seen
street.
a lot of people screw that up.
I was heading, and then as you get further down towards Burbank, it becomes a double yellow line.
Yeah.
And then you know for sure. But in the beginning, I wasn't sure, and you may not see a one-way sign. So if you can see a sign that you can read in the direction you're traveling, you'll be safe.
And then the orange line kicks in, which is really confusing. And cops use the orange line, and I've seen housewives.
What orange line?
The orange line usually right next to it. There's different parts of the
I'm
bike
talking
path.
about the roadway. I'm not talking about the bike path.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry. I thought you meant the bike path. You're talking about the road?
As I was heading east on the road,
As he was
before
driving,
it became
as
a
he was
double
driving.
yellow line, you might be confused.
Oh, gotcha.
Whether you're going
Oh, yeah.
which way. Now, back to the food. I just wanted to relay that to. I had a reservation about not leaving that out. That's why I always, whenever I go to a restaurant, I think Redban does the same thing. I like to drink iced tea, unsweetened iced tea, and I like to drink gallons of it. So right after I order the first one, I say, it's not because I'm cheap.
Right, you just give them a heads
I
up.
want to know what the policy is. So I'm not going to get charged $2.95 for every iced tea I have. So I say, are the refills complimentary?
Fair question.
Then I know I can drink buckets and buckets. That's why I love Denny's. I can sit in Denny's and drink gallons of unsweetened iced tea.
Same.
And it's a clean restaurant. I can't wait till it gets open.
Hey, have you ever done this move? This is kind of a move. I've done this. You order, you eat, you get the bill, and then I'm like, "Can I get a coffee?" And then a lot of times they'll just give you the coffee, and then I'll just.
That's cheap.
Yeah,
that's
it's
cheap.
And it is cheap, and I've done it, but it's an item of interest.
But I've also
You actually do that to just try to
These poor
save
mom
money?
and pop places.
Yeah, I have done that.
I thought you were-
I've done it.
I
No,
thought you were
because
a working
It's
entertainer.
a
What are you,
liquid.
so
It's a
good?
hot liquid. They don't care, and it's like
We lost the Tiger King. We lost the real Tiger King, Roy. The White
yeah.
Tigers.
Yeah, Corona.
Probably be in the obituaries next week.
ironic that he got killed by pussy since he hated it so much.
Whoa!
Too soon? Too soon?
We'll be right back.
I'm going to order a coffee after the bill comes.
Now,
No, but I have done that and not meant to be cheap, and they have put it on the bill. They will. There are some times where they'll say, "Let me go get that." So you don't always get the freebie.
And then they grab the check and then they type it up.
So what I'm telling you guys in comics, when you first go to the club, you should ask them what the food and drink policy is before you start ordering anything. And then you wouldn't have this shock at the end of the week or how many times you're there.
And don't be a horrible tipper if you're a comic. Try not to be. That's fair.
Don't take advantage either.
Yeah, I give them $1 for water, and you know what? Every time I get over there for water, they run over, and I'm like, it's $1.
$1?
Yeah, for water.
And you're saying don't be cheap?
I didn't say don't be cheap.
$1? You can't even get a
For
newspaper
water.
for $1.
I drink 4 waters a night. That's
You
$4.
tip $1?
A glass of water?
No, it's okay. It's okay. 4 quarters? I mean, why
No, I
give
usually give them currency.
Why give anything?
I'm supposed to put them in a new tax bracket for something that falls out of the sky for free?
Give him a quarter and a dime, 35 cents.
Give a piece of beam and gum and some lint.
What is this,
What am I, grandma?
$1?
For a glass of water.
How can you give anybody $1 for anything? $1 is like, it's not even worth
Give me
anything.
that $1 back I gave you, you bastard.
So that's the social
Distancing.
distancing
Of interest.
for wealthy people.
Yeah, stay away from the servants. Keep your distant.
U.S. households' debt rose by $155 billion to $14.3 trillion in the first quarter. While a record number, it's still below the $15 trillion that the U.S. consumers owed in 2007 on an inflated, adjusted basis. ExxonMobil lost $610 million in the first quarter. It's only lost since 1988.
Wait, they're not saving money? What do you mean loss? Where's
With
their bank account?
plunging global demand and collapsing prices, earnings from its oil and gas production fell 91% from a year ago. They're not spending any money on those refineries. It's 2020, and they still have refinery explosions.
It's ridiculous.
And refinery fires. It's not like the technology isn't to have a safe gasoline making manufacturer. It's all they don't want to spend any money. They don't even pave the roads in those refineries. Sometimes you can see into those refineries. They don't even pave the roads. Did you know that, Redban? You go in there, it looks like the Wild Wild West.
Oh, yeah, it's all a gravel road.
Yeah. They don't.
It's cheaper, yeah, and it's cancer clusters all over the place.
It's like they're saving money for another time or another place or another moon or another galaxy.
That's why they say when they lost money, they have trillions of dollars. Well, lost it where? Where did it go? Where's your savings account? I have one.
They have explosions and fires. If you had that many explosions and fires in your home where your oil burner was or your water heater or your gas stove, somebody would say, hey, what's going on? We can't have these fires in these people's homes over and over again. There must be something wrong with the equipment. But when you're a corporation like oil, they get to just... And I had somebody tell me otherwise, that this woman was a safety inspector for this refinery. And it was just a job that they give to somebody. And she finally quit. She couldn't take it anymore.
She's probably paid by the oil company.
Every time she brought up something that needed to be given attention or looked at or fixed, they shined her off. They shined her off, Redban.
Redban, look at the Amazon employees that complained because they were packaging sanitation items for people and they weren't given sanitation items, and then they said you're fired because they spoke out about their own health. So of course the oil
Where
refineries
was that?
don't give an F.
What was
Amazon, the people in the factories.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
in the Amazon,
That-
Amazon.
I heard
They're
that.
sending out hand sanitizers. They don't give them hand sanitizer.
I heard that working conditions in Amazon factories is bad or worse or equal to the post office with the bells ringing.
Dude, that's Bezos. That's the guy
Ding,
that's...
ding, 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 ding.
He's the richest guy in the world. Take care of your people.
Well,
Come on.
That's not the business model, I guess.
I'm so tired of rich people getting on the backs of poor people. There's got to be a better equation. Come on, Elon. There's got to be something better.
Well, I think he pays pretty good, his people, doesn't he?
You would hope. I hope so.
Yeah,
I'd like to
he's-
think that Elon especially seems like he would take care of his people. Yes.
Here's one about Amazon. Now, Amazon saw its sales rise 26% in the first quarter as homebound customers flooded in with online shopping orders, said so-and-so and so-and-so in so-and-so and so. While the e-commerce giant reported a record $75.5 billion in revenue, Amazon said it will spend $4 billion on coronavirus-related costs, such as employee testing, wage increases, and the 175,000 hourly employees it added to its payroll. If you're a share owner in Amazon, you may want to take a seat, said the owner, Jeff Bezos.
Bezos? He's got some $1 trillion home in Brentwood he just bought.
Yeah, and it was, what did we say? His home was the equivalent of, his house cost the equivalent of
Nigeria.
$84,000 or something, or $184,000 compared to his net worth.
Wow.
And it was the most expensive home bought in
ever,
Los
right?
Angeles, yeah.
That's a stunning stat.
And he's not going to be able to furnish that at JCPenney. This is this.
I don't know where you're going to get that.
You know,
much
I'd love to
furniture.
buy a big house, but you just don't go to a regular store and think that you're going to furnish that place. This is why I'm not worried. The furniture alone, everything has to be custom. You know what? I'm not joking, Randy.
Well, he
you
hires
can't buy a
some rich-
mansion and go in there and see sit and
Sit and sleep.
What's some of the places that sell furniture?
IKEA.
Marshalls.
IKEA.
IKEA. Target has furniture.
Target. Yeah, imagine going into a house like that and seeing something from IKEA. You'd laugh at the bonus. You'd say you're stupid.
I knew a comedian that got a big holding development deal. Like he would get a lot of money year after year, and he got a house in the hills. And supposedly it was a lot of it was furnished with blow up toys from like the
Jeffrey
swimming
Ross.
pool.
Yeah, I was in that house.
Really? No, not that.
Yeah, you had to bring your own air pump.
But that was
Really?
kind of trendy for a minute too, wasn't
Oh,
it?
was it? I
The
don't
inflatable
know.
stuff.
I just heard about it. I actually read about it in his book, but
Anyway, it's
Convenient. You bring it in small and it gets
Yeah.
bigger. I mean, I don't know.
because we're not thinking small. No, he's not thinking small at all, this guy. Amazon has been under pressure over the treatment of its workers. A senior engineer and vice president, Tim Bray, resigned this week over the company's dismissal of 2 warehouse workers who had organized protests. So there
Yeah,
you go, just what you were saying.
But I don't understand, Brian, just for the fiscal
No,
aspect of
we-
it, why wouldn't he just not do that? Like, just for the bad
we don't
press.
know. We don't know what they're teaching them. It's what they're teaching them in these business colleges. These are the business models. I can't understand it either. I don't understand why an airline making $50 billion has to charge old people to put their baggage in the bottom.
Why can't there be some empathy applied
I
to
don't know
our
what it
economic
is.
system? I don't understand how it will collapse if we
and they'll
give...
think we're crazy for talking about it.
Well,
they'll say you
yeah.
don't understand. You don't know. So
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a
Right, that-
business professional.
I'm not either.
But you're right. I agree with you. J. Crew became the first national U.S. retailer to be pushed into bankruptcy by the pandemic, said so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so. A 37-year-old fashion dealer reached a deal with lenders this week to convert about $1.65 billion of debt into equity. How do you do that?
I don't even know what that means. Buy
Debt. We know
stuff.
what debt is, and we know equity is good. How do you take all that and make it good? I don't know. J. Crew is a very nice clothing, right?
I'm actually
Been around
surprised
forever.
more companies haven't gone bankrupt. I think it's kind of impressive that
It's time
it's
to
just
take the
one.
money and run. It's time to-
JCPenney's about to die.
But weren't they kind of dying earlier?
yeah.
Oh yeah, they've been
Kinda.
hanging on. I don't know why they don't go sooner. They
And
do.
even Sears was going.
Somebody's
Sears is still
making
going.
money. Somebody's making money. That's the only reason they keep hanging on. Somebody's still cutting checks, and they say, "Well, just," and then they always get the lawyers, and then they do the bankruptcy deal, and they still get money, and then they get the golden parachute after that, and they just drag it out and drag it out and drag it out. And otherwise, why else would they?
Yeah, they're giving oil companies bailouts, and they're worried about a migrant, somebody who doesn't have their papers in a house where the other person does. Isn't that kind of nitpicky a little bit in regards to humanity?
It's definitely a quagmire.
A bit of a quagmire. There's so many words you can't say, and yet some that are difficult that just flow out of your mouth like velvet.
I know what the word is. I just, for some reason, I can't pronounce it, and it's getting worse.
Equilibrium. Is that hard to say? Equilibrium?
Equilibrium.
Only when I'm dizzy. That's very difficult.
Are you testing me?
No,
he did. No, it was a subtle.
I mean, you know.
Real quick, can I just say this about the stores? I love malls. Don't you guys like walking around malls? It's one of my pastimes.
They're expensive.
I know, but when I'm on the road, I love going to a nice air-conditioned mall and just getting the steps in. You know what I mean?
I do not.
I get lost in there. I listen to podcasts, walk around these big malls. When you go to a new city you've never been to and you go to the mall, there's like a rush you get.
Despite its role in exacerbating the global spread of Corona-19, thank you for that, Darren. Yeah, we all love malls. Carnival Cruise Line announced plans to resume service on August 1st, said so-and-so and so-and-so. Lawmakers have asked
Who's going to be the first comic to do that cruise?
Oh, they'll be lining up. It's already been death before the virus out there, and they still love it. So,
no, they don't love it. Some of them love it, but some of them don't love it.
The travel's
they're doing it for the money.
I understand that. The money's good. I get it.
Yeah, the money is very good.
Yeah.
It's like, what, $3,500 a week?
Something like that.
$4,500 a week?
I think so.
Two shows. One show is clean. I mean, super clean, 30 minutes, and then the next show can be anything goes.
Like a late night show?
Late show. That's what I'm
told.
told.
I bet you it's not anything goes.
Bruce Smirnoff told me about this.
Smirnoff books it. When I approached
he's a
him
consultant
about it,
now.
Yeah, he told me that without even sending a tape,
there's
that I would have no chance.
There's J.C. Penney.
Really? He said you'd have no chance?
He said I was too out of the thing and too.
No, if you can do something clean for 30 minutes and not say one iota of anything. If this was an audition for the
what did he say?
You would have failed. You talked about genitalia.
I did, and I think about it too.
What did he say though? What he said?
Well, a lot of people do have preconceived notions about me. I'm not sure why, but that I would not be. I'm not sure why.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know why he. I don't know. They
got to think something. They got to think something.
I guess, and I don't know. I'm not sure where it comes from, Darren. I don't know. I'm not sure. He just had a preconceived notion. I don't know how else to put it.
Lawmakers have asked Carnival to hand over a slew of documents related to its response to the coronavirus outbreaks on its ships that infected more than 1,500 people, killing dozens. But the cruise line is eager to get back to business, offering fares as low as $28 a night.
Now they're cheap.
On 6 ships that will set out from Galveston, Texas. Galveston, Texas. I've been there. And Miami, just over a week after CDC's no sale order expires. Do we have that woman on Facebook yelling about not people putting on their messages with the mirror sunglasses in Miami? It went viral. She really lays it out.
About what?
People not wearing their masks.
Their masks.
She was showing some real estate, and the woman didn't want to put on the mask, so she got in her car after and she really vented about it.
I don't blame her. I think it's a little selfish, but it's kind of murky. They keep saying they're going to lift things, so we're getting mixed messages.
It's confusion, right? That's what they do to prisoners. They confuse them. You're getting out. You're not getting out. You're getting out. You're not getting out.
It's similar. Good point.
And what about this? There was like the president of Tanzania, I think. They asked for remember.
My fucking constitutional rights and my civil rights.
It's not about rights.
Yeah,
we're just trying to
give
keep
it a
people
break.
healthy, you stupid.
Jesus.
I'm filing a fucking class action lawsuit. You can take your fake fucking global terroristic false flag attack.
Your parents don't love you. You're an idiot. Nobody liked you in high school. Tank top wearing bitch.
Took the word tank out of tank top.
Get out of the store.
Does he know the store is a private property and he has like they could do whatever they want?
He thinks this is why we
go home.
Our grandparents fought wars so he can scream about not being healthy.
Well, people are so retarded.
What place is
so
it?
retarded.
This is some place with a lot of pine trees.
This is a right, the right to give people a virus.
Oh, it's a Publix, a grocery store.
Yeah, the one I'm looking for is a woman. Redban.
What about it takes a village? He had some man tits cooking.
A real good look. Real good looking woman. And she just lays it out. I think my listeners would love to hear her if they haven't already heard her.
If you wear a mask, it's telling people around you, I give a shit.
Exactly.
That's all it's saying.
Darren, it's time for you to go to the bathroom?
I'm not wearing a mask.
I'm good.
But I figure I would have got something from you guys through the years already. All the unprotected sex the three of us have had together. Is that her? She looks like a badass.
She says Miami is a hot town. I know it's a party town, but not now. And
right, give it a rest.
She's driving a car and she's got mirrored sunglasses on. She's got her hair tied back so you can see those sexy ears. I love ears on a woman.
Interesting.
I love it when you can see the ears.
What about Helen Keller? Hers didn't work. Would you have still?
Helen Keller was... A lot of people don't know about Helen Keller.
I don't know. She could give a hand job, I would imagine. Nobody's business.
First, you'd have to locate her.
She'd have to find you.
All right, if it comes up later, we'll find it.
Hey, I like that joke. You could do that on the late night show with cruise ships.
That's right. It's perfect for the late night show at cruise ships that dump their garbage in the middle of the night that pollute our oceans.
But you got to keep it clean.
But I'm just a dumb hippie. Sorry.
Okay, this is another one about your buddy, Elon.
He's your buddy.
Elon stock plummeted last week after another bizarre Twitter outburst from chief executive Elon Musk. Said so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. With the shares of Tesla's stock soaring after the company announced its best first quarter production and delivery results ever. Musk wrote that Tesla's stock price was too high. He added that he intended to sell almost all physical possessions and opposed the government's lockdown of cities and businesses to fight the coronavirus.
That's progressive.
While on an earnings call, Musk also called social distancing rules fascist. The stock price tweet could again land Musk in hot water with regulators. The controversial executive had agreed in a settlement with the Securities and Exchange Commission last year to submit his public statements about Tesla's finances and other topics to vetting. Vetting is censorship by its legal counsel.
Wow. Why are rich people less patient about the lack of money than poor people? I don't understand. Why? It's been 4 months. You're still a trillionaire.
We don't really like to get into politics on this podcast.
I thought it was of interest.
The board that oversees internet, this is a good one. I'm glad this is a good ruling for us. You'll like this ruling.
For who? You two?
For everybody that's interested in this.
I'm interested. It's of interest.
The board that oversees internet domain names rejected the sale of .org to a private equity group, said so-and-so and so-and-so. ICANN, which stands for the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, said a convincing majority of its 15-member board voted to veto the bid from Ethos Capital because of the lack of guarantees that the spirit that was always intended for the .org would be preserved. The sale had stirred fierce opposition when it was first announced in November, mainly over suspicion regarding the private equity's stewardship of .org, a top-level domain that helps identify nonprofits and civic-minded websites such as the redcross.org and npr.org. So that's a good one. We finally got a good ruling, huh?
Yeah.
What about this? Tell us about this priority internet speeds. Is that going forward? Big companies like Coca-Cola and will get their internet speed faster. Remember they were talking about that?
Is that the 5G that they keep talking about?
No, it was being given priority to people who could pay for it.
That's a
right
shocker.
now it's equal. Everybody's internet speed is on the same.
Not really, though. I mean, like, as an example, I pay an extra $30 a month for faster speed than the basic package.
And is that 5?
It's fiber
optics.
Yeah, so it's like a gig up, and it's fast. It's way faster than the normal one.
Now, is internet access available to everybody in the 50 states, wherever you live? Or is there still dead zones?
There's still dead zones in the
Dead
countries
zones,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Like where my mom lives, she just got DSL, which is considered
That's
slow
the old
nowadays.
one. That's the dial-up one.
Well, no. Dial-up is like modems and stuff. DSL is like over your phone line, but it's not that fast. It's a little faster. But she can only
they
get
use
DSL.
your existing phone lines.
Yeah, and that said that DSL is considered old and slow now. But that's the only thing she can get where she lives.
So anybody with a phone has access to the internet, perhaps?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, unless you're like in a dead spot or something, or you might at least have like your, data off your phone. At least you'll have that.
Usually,
but you can't really upload stuff sometimes. If all you have is like a Mophie or something.
Yeah, this is good news for the ORG, because once an investment corporation gets a hold of anything, they just count dollars,
Yeah,
just
they
like
wanna-
the comedy club owners who count every hamburger you had. It's over. It's gone. Their only job is to extract money or income or profit from whatever they
Whatever
touch.
they can get, and they can
Whatever they touch.
monetize non-profit. Yeah, it's right up their alley.
Yeah.
Of course, they want to purchase
They
the
don't-
concept of non-profit.
They want to do what that guy did in that Bear movie.
Have sex with it. Oh, the grizzly guy. They want to die.
Remember that movie?
Grizzly Man.
No, it was with the little actor.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a documentary.
What was that one that he won the
Oh,
Oscar?
Leo
Yeah. What
DiCaprio, my hero, my man crush.
was that movie he was in?
The Revenant. or something
Thank
like
you,
that.
The Revenant. Exactly.
When
I
he
think that's what it
he
was.
had to cut that animal out so he could
They
sleep
did
in
that
there.
in Star Wars though, with one of those glurchkins, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
The Blurkin.
Oh yeah, was that a
That'd been
ripoff? Was that a
That'd been
ripoff?
done.
Damn.
I thought
been
they lasted too long on that scene too. That was a lot of minutes.
I don't know
They
why
didn't-
we had to get that involved with the carcass of that.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
was
sure.
that was
a
kind
little
of
more shocking than it was substantive.
Okay, we're almost to the end of items of interest. We're up to the obituary section, which is a very unique section. Today I have two. I don't know if I'm going to do either one. One is 90 years old, Don Shula, the famous NFL coach.
Miami, right? Miami.
Yes. He was lucky enough to get his hands on Dan Marino, who did a wonderful job for the Miami Dolphins for many years. Maybe I'll just read the last
Wait,
paragraph.
did Shula? So he didn't win a championship. if
Oh,
he
yes.
was with Marino.
Oh, yes. Don Shula demanded perfection of his players, and they often delivered during his 33 years as an NFL head coach, 7 with the Baltimore Colts and 26 with the Miami Dolphins. His team won 347 games, a record unmatched by any other coach. 17 of those victories are the stuff of football legend. In 1972, his Dolphins became the first and only NFL team to go undefeated in the regular season and playoffs. You know what
Wow.
it's like?
Crazy.
People don't realize unless they play a football. If you have never played football at any level, high school, I only played in high school, and football is like no other sport. When you win a football game, each game is like a war. It's not like other baseball and basketball. You lost a basketball, so you lost a baseball game, so you lost this particular game. Football is like such combat.
It's brutal.
And so brutal and violent that each game that you win or lose is so significant.
Nice.
And I can tell you the truth because I was lucky enough. I wasn't a senior. I think I was in 11th grade. I was on an undefeated football team in high school. And the reason we were undefeated, I guess we were getting our ass kicked at another level. So they put us in another level. This was at General Douglas MacArthur High School in Levittown, Long Island, New York. And we went undefeated. And it was amazing to not have a loss.
Yeah, especially in football.
It's almost equivalent to a no-hitter in baseball.
I think
Or a perfect game, I think they call it.
I'd say just as difficult, yeah. And not to mention dangerous.
So this is especially in the NFL, to go undefeated in the regular season and the playoffs.
Do you have any football memories of of being a hero of the game? At least like getting the ball and running with it or anything like that?
I'll talk to you after the podcast.
Okay.
I'll walk you out to your car. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But right now we're doing this right here. Okay.
This is of interest.
This is adventure.
Yeah.
This is Don Shula. No, they want to hear about Don Shula. They don't want to hear about me.
Brian Holtzman, 11th grade football
So as
career.
Dolphins became the first and only NFL team to go undefeated in the regular season and the playoffs. You know, after beating the Washington Redskins 14-7 in Super Bowl, I guess it's 12.
This is without
A V,
Marino.
A V and two I's. Is that 12?
7. I think it's 7.
What is it? V?
I think that's 7.
I think it's 7.
I don't know
Super
why
Bowl
they have
7?
these normal.
Could be wrong, but-
This is like percentage. Why can't you just? Why do we have to use Roman numerals? Nobody knows anything about I don't know. I'm not too comfortable with Roman numerals.
I'm not either. I don't know any Romans. It's not useful for me.
Well, V11 or VII. I think that's either the V is either 10
think the
or
V.
12.
I think the V's 5.
Or then it's 7. Then it's Super Bowl 7. But that's
think so.
1972. I think the Super Bowl's been around longer than that. 1972 minus 7.
First Super Bowl was the 40s.
First Super
Green
Bowl.
Bay Didn't Green Bay win
Hold on. Redban's talking
Chiefs
to
were
us.
subjugated by the Packers in the Super Bowl on January 15th, 1967. The final score was 35-10.
Oh yeah, 1967.
So then this must be 10. This must be 12.
That must be 12. Yeah, 10 and 2. Boom.
A V and 2.
Oh, V is 10.
I'm asking you.
I don't know.
I don't want to give out any more information.
No, I think X is 2 in Roman numerals. I think X is 2. I could be wrong.
Then I think
though.
V is 10. And
Oh,
we're-
now you want to throw X into it?
X, yeah, X,
See?
C, and M.
See, we're not afraid not to know something on this podcast.
I'm not afraid.
There you go.
There we go.
I barely got out of high
Oh,
school.
look, there we go.
So what is V?
V is 5.
7.
I was right.
So you were right.
I was right.
So Don Shula was very
Super
old.
Bowl
God rest his
7?
soul.
I was right. Never forget. I was right.
thought
I will
that-
never
thought
forget. You were right.
Super Bowl 7. The players lofted Schuler onto their shoulders and carried him off the field at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, and the celebrating continued into the next morning. A year later, Schuler's Dolphins triumphed over the Minnesota Vikings at Super Bowl 8. Yeah, thank you.
A little math I can do.
Those championships were a product of Schuler's intense style. He worked players hard in training camp, holding 4 practice sessions a day, and would explode over even small mistakes. He says, I'm as subtle as a punch in the mouth, Schuler admitted.
You think these prima donnas can handle him today?
He was born in Great River, Ohio, a small fishing community on Lake Erie, said so-and-so and so-and-so. A high school football star, he earned a scholarship from John Carroll University in Cleveland. There you go.
Word up, hometown.
Redban, you're from Cleveland too, aren't you?
Columbus.
Columbus, that's right. I knew it was a C.
And in Ohio, 2 C words.
Cincinnati also.
And,
3 C words. Good for you. Look.
Yeah, Ohio.
Damn.
And
C
was
words.
later drafted as a defense back by the Cleveland Browns. After 7 seasons in the NFL, the 33-year-old was hired by the Colts as a head coach in 1963. Under his leadership, the team won 75% of its games. This guy knew his football.
Yeah, he did.
But his tenure there is remembered as many for the Colts lost to the underdog New York Jets in the 1969 Super Bowl III.
Yeah.
Super Bowl III. For some reason, I thought the NFL, because you see those old helmets they have on, with
The
no
leather.
protection and all that. I just thought that the NFL was a much
Me too.
older.
Maybe that wasn't
organization.
maybe what we're picturing wasn't NFL. Maybe that was just college football or something.
Very well could have been. I think college football, actually, we know college football was older than
Yeah.
the NFL. So I think Darren is correct twice.
Well,
on
like
this
Jim
podcast.
Thorpe. Like Jim Thorpe, the Native American Indian
Yes.
football player.
So he got into a rift with the owner of the Colts after they lost to the Jets in '69. So he moved to Miami. The Dolphins had won a mere 15 games in the previous 4 years, but Schuler quickly turned them into a powerhouse. And the last paragraph of this obituary: Schuler's brilliance lay in his adaptability. Said so and so and so and so. His Dolphins won 2 Super Bowls with an aggressive running game and a no-name defense who could execute his strategies. Yet when a talented quarterback from the University of Pittsburgh slipped to Miami with the 27th pick in the 1983 draft, Schuler switched to and this is where he found Dan Marino.
27th. Wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that is kind of that's deep.
Pretty deep for somebody.
Well, I guess
who's a
once
legend.
I guess that's common for quarterbacks. If they already got a star franchise quarterback, they want to get more defensive players or perhaps running backs before they look for
I think-
backup quarterback.
Back then, especially. Now they got backups for the backups. But in the day, yeah.
This is why it's fun to talk to sports people like that guy. Who's the sports guy on
Dave
Fraser?
Smith.
God, sports people are amazing, Redban. They know everything. They know every name, every just they know details upon details on top of details.
Of all the sports.
And I'm
which is-
fascinating. I love to listen to him just for the what do you call it?
It's almost like autism.
It's a little Rain Man-y. It's a little Rain Man-y.
I
for
could have
sure.
taken
Definitely
that. I could have taken that both ways,
Yeah.
Redban. But
They know all the details, yeah.
Earl Senko was on last week, and he's a hockey professional. He knows all about hockey, but we didn't get a chance to even touch on that.
Yeah, the problem with hockey is just it's got that fan base that's just so secluded. It just never grows. Never grows. Stays the same, stagnant. That's it. It's the end. I mean, hockey ain't getting any bigger. I'm saying ice capades do better. I'm saying ice capades drop better.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just in America. Sorry,
1983 got Danny Marino drafts. Shula switched to a pass-heavy offense led by a gifted new thrower, Dan Marino. Shula finally retired after the 1995 season, having reached 2 more Super Bowls. You know how hard it is to get into the Super Bowl?
So wait, he got more Super Bowls after Marino?
Oh, yes. The toughest part will be in September, he said in January 1996, when that ball is kicked off, and for the first time in 43 years, I won't be on the sidelines. And he was 90 years old.
God bless him. Oh, he was 90 when he passed.
90, full life. God bless
full
him.
life. And the Dolphins, such an iconic team, don't you think? Right behind Dallas, that Dolphin. Ever since I was a kid, I just always enamored by that.
Yeah, they were
damn
quite a
helmet.
franchise.
I really just loved them.
And the weather and the palm trees.
Yeah, and then like the steel curtain.
And who doesn't like a dolphin? You know,
They have a blowhole, so that's an advantage to everyone involved.
You know, the
Darren,
flipper.
I was right there.
Flipper.
Yeah, exactly. It's just cute. And then Miami, and it's...
The actress, I don't know if I'll do this one. This is an actress. She was Shirley Knight. Does anybody know who Shirley Knight is?
I remember the name.
She said she was on NYPD. I'll just read the last paragraph. The blonde, because the last paragraph is always the interesting.
Yeah, get right to it.
It gives them their, that one line, that signature line that I love. So I'm just going to do the last paragraph. She was down on Hollywood.
Right.
And the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress, is that her?
I don't think so.
Her name is Shirley Knight.
From
K-N-I-G-H-T.
NYPD?
Shirley. She was on a lot of stuff, but she gave up Hollywood and back to do the theater in New York. But the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress seemed destined for stardom, said the so-and-so and so-and-so. But driven by a desire to challenge her acting skills, Knight headed east to train at New York's Actors Studio and made her Broadway debut in 1964 production of so-and-so and so-and-so, Three Sisters. That's a play.
Three Sisters?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Might have missed that.
In later years, Knight adapted easily to the wide-ranging roles that came her way, racking up scores of movie and television credits, including Emmy-winning roles in NYPD Blue. And I love that show.
Me
and I don't
too.
know which
Great
one
show.
she is.
I think I do. I think she had the brunette partner.
She the lady who answered the phones?
No.
Who
She
was
was
she?
the one that would work the beat with that brunette. I can't remember her name.
She was the tall blonde?
I think she was the tall blonde.
Who was friendly with the guys?
Yeah, and she was really good. She was prominent on that show, and she was great. She's a great actress.
Real tall and skinny?
Yeah, sexy, but she had that cool quality about her.
Yeah, and she kind of got into a problem with the other one.
Was it
the way that the other one didn't like her style in the beginning
Sipowicz?
till they made friends? No, her female. Detective.
Yeah. They had a little tension.
So that's her, huh?
I think it. I don't know which other blonde. I used to watch that show a lot.
Racking up scores of movie and television credits, including Emmy-winning roles in NYPD Blue and 30-something. I play ordinary people. This is the killer line right here, Redban.
Is that her?
It's hard to say if it's her now.
Yeah,
when we
that's
watched
her.
her years ago. Can I see?
Yeah.
She says, this is the killer line that I like. I play ordinary people, and I cannot stand these stars who take real ordinary people and make them interesting and call it acting, she once said. No real person behaves like Elizabeth Taylor.
Well, she's got a point.
Isn't that great?
It's pretty interesting. It's like if you cry, you're a baby, but if you pretend cry on camera, you get an Oscar.
And this is, I thought, was an item of interest. This is, unfortunately, a lot of times we have to write sympathy cards for people who have passed away, family and friends, and especially in this time of coronavirus. This is something that will help you to perhaps pen a sympathy letter or card. Many of us are being called on these days to write condolence letters, said so-and-so and so-and-so. These are tough letters to write, but they do matter. Handwrite and mail the letter if you can, but an email is acceptable in this unusual time. Open with a formality, dear, perhaps, and the reason you're writing. You don't want to be stiff, but it's okay to convey an air of, solemnness.
Right, you don't want to be over the top or wacky.
And don't open with it. Yeah, exactly. Don't, say like,
what up? Yeah, you know what I mean?
I hear he's dead as AF. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't wanna-
OMG, I hear he's
You know.
DEAD.
There'll be more room on the couch. That kind of thing.
Exactly. Think of the food you'll save, the money you'll save.
All the ice cream will still be there. Oh,
That's the
there she
one
is.
I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's the one that married Sipowicz. That's
Wait,
the one who
that was
married
the one that
Sipowicz.
Sipowicz?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't
Sipowicz
remember.
married
if it
her.
was- Yeah.
Oh, the poor thing. Yeah, she was good.
It's cute.
You have to act if you're trying to pretend you're in love with Sipowicz, and she's that hot that puzzle piece barely fit.
I want to
sorry.
meet Sipowicz. I want to.
Great actor.
I want to meet.
Awesome. Loved him.
God, he was good.
So good. He had that face belonged to nowhere on television, and it was perfect.
And the reason you're writing, you don't want to be stiff, but it's okay to convoy an air of solemnist, and don't open with small talk. If you knew the deceased, consider sharing a pertinent or funny story. The reader likely could use the laugh. If you didn't express your affection for the recipient in a way that connects to their loss, you must have brought your father so much pride, for example. Share a wish for the future before a final, solemn, sincerely. And don't be afraid to send a postcard. Not in this case, but people love to receive things in the mail.
I agree. I'm just worried now. Nobody wants to touch anything. It was like Mother's Day. I wanted to send my
I
mom
had
something.
a friend up north that says she collects the mail and then puts it in a plastic bag for 6 days before
Can I tell
she
you guys
opens
something?
it.
You can do that.
I want to tell you something real quick. I was at a stoplight, and I looked down, and I saw that there
It
was
doesn't have to be real quick. No one's rushing you, Darren.
Okay, cool.
You always say real quick, like I'm going to cut you off. I'm not going to cut you off, Darren.
Thank you.
Now, the wisdom part now. This is the last part of the...
Can I tell you the story? Just
all right, go
I'll
ahead.
take my
Go
time. I'll
ahead.
take my time. I'll take my time. Can you remove those reading glasses? Because if those reading glasses are on,
He's gonna read.
That he's gonna read.
It's the gateway to reading, yes.
Oh, here comes the reading glasses and scene. No, you said people are afraid to touch things. I got to tell you, it was a stoplight. I look out the window. I look on the ground. I saw about 7 or 8, 10, maybe 11 cards. I don't know what they were. I look a little bit closer. Some of them appeared to be credit cards, health insurance cards, library cards. I'm like, what? And then I looked, and then I saw, because this is all happening in milliseconds, and then I saw a wallet, and then I saw green cash poking out of the wallet, and I realized that's a wallet and their belongings. And then I thought, back to what you said, do I touch it? Do I not touch it?
It's interesting.
What do? I don't care. I put the hazard lights on. I gathered all the things. I picked up the wallet because there was a driver's license showing like the person. It was a woman's face, and I put it all in a Walmart bag, just like that bag that you have there. And I looked up before I did that though. I looked at the driver's license, and I typed back to what you and I were talking about. I typed in the woman's address in my GPS on Waze, and I realized I was only 0.4 miles from her place. So I went over there. It was last night. This happened. And I pulled up to her address, and I honked the horn, deet, deet, deet. And the lady came running out of the house. She goes, "Please tell me you found my wallet."
Wow.
And it felt. I'm going to tell you guys, it felt great, man.
How old was she?
60 something.
Can you get her on the show? I think she'll come on the show.
Well, that'd be weird.
Did she say how she lost it?
Yeah. I asked her. I said, "How did you?" I go. She goes, "Where was it?"
You've sparked Redban's
Yeah.
curiosity.
No. Listen. I go. She goes. She goes, "Where did you find it?" And I go, "I'll tell you." I go, "But do you have any idea where you think?" She goes, "Well, I came out of Smart and Final, and
Did you call her stupid?
and I took my rubber
Here's
glove."
your wallet, you stupid
She was
ass.
neither smart nor final.
I go,
You
she goes-
forgetful,
She goes,
stupid
"When I took
senior
my
citizen."
rubber gloves off, I put my wallet on top of the car.
Yeah,
So
good
I'm
for-
thinking that's what happened, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
She-
that's good if she has dumb
yeah,
kids,
so
too.
she drove out of the parking lot, and apparently,
How
you know.
long you been dumb, lady? Dumb as a box of rocks.
It
But-
could be an accident that she's dumb.
and you know what though? Like I touched everything, and then I grabbed one of those wet ones, and I wiped my. And she
She probably threw her gloves right on the ground also.
My
I
grandmother.
didn't see any gloves.
I've been noticing that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I know.
Not a fan. Keep yourself clean, pollute the planet. Pick a side, bitches.
I know that is weird, right?
Don't like it.
Yeah. By the way, so it felt good to return that wallet. I'm just telling you,
That's
it's
very
like,
nice of you, Darren.
It's like a natural high. Or it's like I can't even. You know when you get really. Remember when you're a kid at
I thought
Chris.
this was going to be a quick story.
I'm sorry. He said I could. Go
He did the
longer,
quote
so-
sign. You didn't see it behind all the. He did the quote sign. You couldn't see it back there.
This is it, Randy. This
So do
is-
something nice and you'll feel great.
Thank you, Darren, for that. That was nice.
Yeah.
It's always good to give people back their stuff because
You'd want that to happen if
To
you
you.
had a momentary lapse. of
Right,
reason.
absolutely. I just know that.
That's why I'm always kind to strangers and tourists, because when I go on holiday, I want people to be nice to me.
Amen.
Shouldn't give you a reward for almost risking your life by putting your hazards on in the middle of a street and
Did she offer you?
wasting your
She
time.
did, and I turned it down 3 times, and by the 4th time
should've
I
took
said
it.
I took it the 4th time. But
Times are
Took
tough.
what?
You got a
I know.
wife. You got a.
she gave me $20.
Armenian
She
wife.
gave me $20. It was pretty awesome, but I didn't do
good.
it for the money. That's the thing. I was, yeah.
No,
but
of course.
it
but,
makes
you know,
her feel better. A lot of times she does.
Yeah.
You don't want to be left with, I owe them.
Right,
I
right.
think you actually did her a favor for $20.
For
She
$20,
felt better,
it was
yeah.
worth it. You know
Yeah.
how much paperwork she would have,
I
phone
know.
calls she would have
That's
made.
what I was thinking. I mean, I would feel, you know.
You did the right thing.
She goes,
Thanks
I
for
don't even
doing
know
that.
what was in my wallet.
That's
And
why I like you. That's why I like
Yeah.
you. That's why you know.
You're a good person.
You're a good person.
No, but I'm saying
you
it
don't
because
have
it
an
feels
agenda.
good for yourself. It feels good to do
Yeah,
it for
being
yourself.
kind can be a selfish act. There's some who say that because it makes you
Yeah.
feel good.
And then saying it on a podcast, it feels even better. I'm joking about that, but you do it because it feels good.
Yeah, that's a lot of people say that. Oh, you did it just so you would feel good, as if that voids
Right.
voids the good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's actually great news. That's like an endorphin. That's like an impetus to continue kindness.
Honestly,
because
man,
it makes
yeah.
you feel good.
And that's
yeah.
not a problem that
Yes.
it makes you feel good. The
No,
important
that-
thing is what you did.
Amen.
If you feel good about it,
Yeah.
so be it.
It's a bonus.
Oh,
Icing
you're
on the
only
cake.
doing that to pump up your own
Endorphins, yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
no,
sorry,
when I saw
life's
her
difficult.
address and I could GPS it, and it was like literally like I was like, I'm gonna, and it felt great to honk the horn. She came running out. Please tell me you found my wallet.
I love that his always
Yeah.
in some kind of accent. I don't know. He
Yeah.
only helps foreign people. I don't know what it is.
Did she offer you a piece of stupid cake?
Which was a pie, ironically. That's how.
She told me she worked at a hospital with autism people, and
All right.
Oh, fuck her.
sports
Why'd you give her
fans.
her money back? Oh, wait. Oh, she works with. I saw you
Yeah.
against. I'm sorry.
Okay,
She works
uh,
No, she's nice.
I've
She's
got
nice.
I've got some more things. We're gonna wrap it up soon. This is the wisdom part. Part
No longer interesting now, full of wisdom.
It is necessary to work, if not from inclination, at least from despair. Everything considered work is less boring than amusing oneself.
I'd agree with all that.
Some
No
pe-
argument here.
I try to avoid looking forward or backward and try to keep looking upward.
Well, I watch birds, so I'm
Yeah,
constantly.
we don't care
doing
where
that.
you look.
Okay.
We don't care where you look. Thanks, but no thanks on that one. We are pathetically eager to believe that if human affairs are managed right, nothing unpleasant need befall anyone. Yeah, everybody hopes for the best,
That's
okay?
the wishful thinking fortune cookie.
A 2-year-old is kind of like having a blender, but you don't have a top for it.
that's funny.
Great.
Guess what rocket scientist wrote this one, Redban? Jerry Seinfeld.
What's the deal?
Oh, why do they call it a chair?
Why do socks stick together? Are they in love?
Oh, jeez. What would life be without coffee? But then what is life even with coffee? A difference of taste in jokes is a great strain on the afflictions. A difference of taste in jokes is a great strain on the afflictions.
I don't know what that means.
George Eliot. He's probably drunk when he wrote it.
I need to be drunk when I read it.
Take rest. A field that has rested gives a beautiful crop. That one I understand.
What do you mean? No wind?
It means, it means don't shoplift.
Now you tell me.
It means take rest. A field that has rested gives a bountiful crop, which means if you take the time to rest, you'll be more suitable to help for the other people. You'll be more energized. You'll be rested. You'll be able to be prepared for what comes next, as opposed to a tired person who's worn out, uninterested, and asleep at the wheel.
It's a good answer.
So that was give us a morning radio clap for the end of the.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Kay Wacky. That was fantastic. We didn't say anything funny at all, but it takes up a lot of time. Laughter.
I have one letter I want to read today. It's a short letter, Redban, no problem. Did you know? Did you know Brenda from the Natural Fudge?
No, I'm not good with names though, but I'm pretty good with fudge.
This is to the Natural Fudge Company, 5224 Fountain Avenue, Hollywood, California, November 13th, 1990. Dear Brenda and staff, I would like to take this time to say how regretful and sorry I am for the most unfortunate and deplorable situation I caused at the club November 12th. I am sorry for putting the staff and customers in an uncomfortable position. The employees of the Natural Fudge Company have always treated us wonderfully, and I hope you all will forgive me for my outburst. Furthermore, I would like to apologize to you, Brenda. You have done nothing but good things for me and have helped me a great deal in my career. I did say some things that were not true, and I am sorry for that. I know that my relationship with the Natural Fudge Company will be somewhat strained because of my behavior that night. I can assure everyone involved that this was an isolated occurrence and that it will not happen again. Sincerely, Brian Holtzman. So there it is.
Wait, what?
What happened?
What? Yeah,
It's a letter of apology, sort of, and then...
That was very polite, Brian.
And how do
Another
you...
letter of apology. You know.
Polite. And you have. Oh, you
So how
you
does
have a
this
few
work?
of those.
Do you write these letters, but then you make a copy before you send it? I don't understand how
Like
you
a
have
Xerox
How do you have a copy of that?
Do you have a template for apologies?
They were in the computer, you know.
Oh.
They're saved on a hard drive, I think they call it. And
Kids are saying,
you can
yeah.
retrieve it. So that's an apology letter for this week. I also...
You don't know what you're not going to say what you did?
Yeah, what are you
There
apologizing
must have been
for?
some. It must have been some shenanigans, you know, Redban.
God, I want to know all these answers.
It was an isolated incident.
I've seen your.
By the way, just for the future, do you have Redban's email in case you need to send a letter?
It's always an isolated incident. You always say it's not the normal
Reoccurring. You'll be back.
conduct.
But you have
Yeah.
15 or 20 of these letters. It's hard to argue that there's a pattern forming there, Brian.
This is a new segment for the podcast, so these are going to be directed at you, Randy. Short answers, not too long.
Uh-oh.
We're kind of pressed on time. I think we're over an hour now at least.
2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh my God! So we're going
I
to
might
have to
have
run
a
through this
parking
quick.
ticket.
This is called 10 questions, and they're directed at you.
Me? I
And
mean,
you can answer these any way you want, but
quickly.
not too quickly, but not try to edit yourself as best you can.
I shall.
Number one, where would you go in the world if you had a 2-week, totally expenses paid holiday? Where would you go in the whole world if it was on the house?
Peru.
Any reason?
They have the highest amount of bird species in the world.
So you do like birds.
Yeah, who would make that geeky fact up? You think
Hey,
that gets
here's
me
two.
puss?
Do you like blondes or brunettes?
Brunettes. Yeah, brunettes.
And brunette is just a woman with black hair.
Or brown, dark brown hair, just not blonde, and not ginger.
Why
Just-
wouldn't a brunette is a woman with black hair?
Okay, I consider
Is that
brown.
my understanding?
I thought brown also.
I thought it was brown.
I thought brown or black would be a brunette, but I'm not positive.
But you know, Joe's Pizza has a beauty parlor, and I looked at, you know, you got redhead,
Right.
you got blonde, you got dirty blonde,
Right. And then you got brunette.
and what I'm saying is, and you got brown. Okay, yeah, brown. We know what brown looks like. Why do they call brunette, even though it looks black? Why can't they just say black?
Well, first of all,
Why do they?
it's
Why did
racist.
Why did they make up a name for women who have black hair and call it brunette?
I don't know. Is that a quick enough answer?
But do you agree with me?
I'm not sure that
Yeah.
that
Brown is brown.
Yes, brown is brown, but I'm not sure that in other circles brown is not considered brunette as well. That black and
But what
brown
I'm saying,
are
it's made
dark.
up. It's made up.
Well,
Just
of
like,
course it's made up.
Just like the people who said if you have all capital letters in an email, somehow you're yelling. You're yelling.
Right.
You know, some idiot made that up.
Well, we've made everything up.
So what was your answer to that? Brunette?
Brunette, yeah.
So you like women with black hair?
Yes. And brown.
The definition of brunette's brown.
Really?
Oh, no kidding.
Even though it doesn't look... Redban, this is great.
Well,
Even though it doesn't look brown. Right?
What? I always thought brunettes was just brown.
I thought it
That's
was
another way of saying brown.
dark hair. I don't. Then in that case, I like girls with black hair, which is something I've never said before. I mean, hair of color. Sorry.
What is your best comedy experience? Your stage comedy?
When I did Carnegie Hall with Craig Ferguson, 2 shows.
Sold out.
Yes.
And out of those 2 shows, which one did you like better?
Oh, the second show. We had a matinee because he thought he was going to tape a special, but the word Carnegie costs millions of dollars.
And how many minutes? How many minutes were you contracted to do?
25, 30 always.
That's a lot.
Craig Ferguson was not afraid to have somebody strong in front of him, and me.
And what was your worst? Do you remember your worst comedy performance on stage in front of a live audience?
Jeez, I've had so many. That competition, the one at the bottom, is much more aggressively competitive. I've had a lot of miserable experiences.
How about the worst one?
When I was attacked on stage at the Improv.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I beat the fuck out of him. I did learn.
I
that
did some
can-
research. I was going to let you bring it up. I wasn't going to bring it up.
It's something that I'm
And
sorry
where was
that
security?
happened.
Was it a heckler?
Nowhere.
Was it a comedian?
No,
Was
nothing.
it
Nothing. It was
promoter?
a crazy person there, and there was nobody in the room. And that's
What happened
why
after you got beat up?
I didn't get beat up.
Oh, good. I'm glad you didn't get
See,
beat up.
that's the
What
other
happened?
thing the press didn't say. I beat the shit out of the guy.
Oh, good for
I
you then.
beat the shit out of him. Rick Overton had to yank me off of him. There was no security in there at all.
I saw Rick
None.
on NYPD
Rick
Blue.
grabbed me off of this guy.
Was it drunken heckler or something?
No,
it was
none of
why
this stuff.
he took offense to something
No,
you were
he
saying
didn't.
about
None of this stuff. You guys are. I'm sorry.
Oh
but
no, I don't even know. I'm just.
Well, you
Yeah,
want me to-
there's always too many stories. His story.
I
the
was
one that
accused of
printed.
so many things,
Yeah.
and I was just in the middle of my act doing nothing.
Favorite movie star.
I had talked to nobody. Jason Statham. I'm just saying I watch all his movies. I mean, he was the greatest actor
You
ever.
remember his
No,
incident at the Improv? So this must have not been too long ago.
No, it's a while ago, if I remember right. It was,
It's a minute. It made no sense.
8
And
years ago.
the Improv, they were never my friend then. Only when I was opening for Hedberg and Ferguson and Pablo. That's when the Improv liked me. But
What is your favorite movie?
Midnight
Midnight Express?
No, Midnight Run. It's one of my favorites. I don't know. I just love it.
How about Logan's Run?
Not one of my favorites, but it was good. Farrah Fawcett, right? Was Farrah in that?
She
I'm
was in
sorry.
something else
Can't
I
ask
saw the
questions.
other day.
But Midnight Run I really like.
What was your favorite subject in high school?
It was, theater.
Are you a Jehovah's Witness?
No, I'm a filthy Jew.
Do you do you hate your mother?
No, but I enjoy everybody else's.
Do you hate your ex-wife?
Yes.
You have 2 ex-wives?
I hate one.
Have you ever considered hurting yourself?
Yes.
No.
Okay, are we lying? No.
No, I'm saying
No,
I want to give
Of course I have. And you can give me a hug. I will accept them from men.
This is Randy Kagan.
That's how desperate I am for
Don't try to
attention.
twist his answers.
I feel bad when someone says
I'm just telling the truth. I'm
What do you
going
want-
through
what do you
a
want-
divorce.
What do you want? Candy
fuck?
coat? Candy coat?
What are they going to do? Put me in obscurity?
Candy coat this podcast?
No.
Darren?
With Brian Holtzman, Darren Carter, Randy Kagan, and a guy with the word red in his name? I mean, there's going to be volatility.
And the bonus question, actually,
You had me at bone.
The bonus question is one law. If you had to change, what one law would you change?
Oh, I'm sure it'd have to do with something environmental, whatever I can think the worst thing is that's happening to the planet. I would say right away I would outlaw sport hunting all over. Sport hunting gone. Unless you eat it, stop
Well,
it.
Joe Rogan had an interesting guest, the rock star
Ted Nugent.
and I thought the same way years ago about hunting
But
animals.
Ted Nugent enlightened you?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Some animals.
He did, though.
Some
I
animals,
knew you were about to say, yeah.
they get old, and you have to wait, make room for new animals, and they in the wintertime they get starved, and they.
Sport hunting came from the time where people needed to eat animals.
Right.
Those days are over. They're not riding the range. They're riding the Range Rover. Fucking stop it, Ted. You're a millionaire.
And this is
Get some chicken from the fucking grocery store.
I got an app on my phone from this guy, this guru. It's SADHGURA. Sanguru. Anyway, every day he gives you a nice comment. And this one is sex in the body is fine. Money in the pocket is fine. They only become a problem if they enter your mind. Isn't that great?
That's a good one. But how do you get it to not? That's the trick. Everything enters my mind. I might as well become like a prisoner.
You need to be more close-minded.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Tell us anything you want to promote or anything you want to tell us about. This is your time to.
Well, I am excited to be working with a company called Generate, which is Dave Rath, on an environmental project which allows me to put a lot of humor and irreverence into a topic that needs it in order to be funny. So I finally have somebody helping me with that. And that's my goal. And I write for ESPN, a very actually fancy pants show that I'm not supposed to tell anybody because it's local LA radio. And it pays like radio, but it's really challenging as a writer. So I work all day, 4 or 5 hours away on this particular deadline, which is every day. And then I work with Fraser Smith on some writing projects, which I'm also very excited about.
And when can we expect you and Frazier to hit the airways
I don't
again?
know. He says it's going to happen pretty soon. We're all going to, including you. You got all three of us are Frazier's disciples, but we're going to start call-ins hopefully pretty soon. I know he loves all three of us. And
Is he back on the air? He's not back on the air
he's not
yet.
back on the air at all. He's still waiting, but they keep assuring him he is going to be.
Yeah.
So the good news is we've had a lot of time. You know, Frazier's a very he's my rock of Gibraltar during these difficult times.
He's an icon.
Frazier's
Sure is
kind
in
of, and he
comedy.
adores,
LOS.
and he adores both of you very much, which we have that in common as well.
Thank you, buddy. And Darren, do you want to leave us with anything that you might find important that we need to know about you?
Well, I want to. You mean? Should I plug something? You mean, or just?
This
Well,
is the
I mean,
part
I think
of
that people know that I have a. It's called the Pocket
Yeah,
Party
this is
Podcast.
the plug
and-
time.
Make sure
All
they
right.
know that. Double check
Brian's
and make
been-
sure they know that.
He's been kind enough to do it on a pretty regular basis. I thank you for that. I've had some great guests. Like I said, Sam Tripoli did it
Sam's
last
great.
night, and I
He's-
just put it up. And we talked a lot about conspiracies and different things that are happening right now. And I found it to be fascinating, and people seem to enjoy it. So, yep, it's audio, Pocket Party Podcast, or on YouTube.
And next week, I think we're going to try to get Art Linkletter on the show and Patsy Cline. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you,
River Phoenix.
Redban. Thanks for all your help. Thanks, everybody. Till next time, take it easy. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bad Ashley's going to play us out.
Love you guys.
You're right, man. It's like a muscle car. It jacks you back. Oh, man. Oh,
Isn't that ridiculous?
oh man. Oh, I get the stomach. I got the stomach in the roller coaster. Holy cow. This thing is fast.
There's Chandler Path right there.
Holy shit. Yeah, there's the plant I was talking about. Whoa! It's like a rocket. Holy cow. Man, it just goes, man. That's a strong battery. That's a strong battery. Holy cow.
Yeah, and this is actually slower than it usually is because my battery's kind of low right now, so it's not as fast as it normally is.
Man, right? Just like you said, in the roller coaster, right in your gut.
Yeah.